Thursday morning, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're having a great day so far on this busy sports day. As Amy Fadool joins us in studio today.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to
Big
you.
day.
How are things? You pumped? You psyched? You ready to roll?
Today's amazing. Phillies play early, setting the table 1 o'clock, right into Sixers, right into whenever the Eagles pick. If it's 22, obviously it'll be late. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be 22. I know we're going to get into that, but great day, best day.
You only have 14 and a half more hours to work, too.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
I know you wouldn't. Yeah. My wife said to me, Donna goes, is Amy ever home? And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, she works an awful lot.
I love it.
I know. I said, that's the business we're in,
roll.
and that's why we like it. Yeah, so a lot going on today. As Amy said, 1 o'clock Phillies game, 7:30 Sixers game, Eagles draft tonight. We'll talk all about all of those things. For us here at the station, just a reminder, I'm going to Chicken Pete's. I'll be there from 3 to 5 today to give away some stuff. Some fun. I'll tell you all about that later. We also have pregame tonight at the Wells Fargo Center. It's going to be Bill Colarulo, myself, and D. Lynam taking you into 76ers basketball game 3 tonight down at the Wells Fargo Center. So we have a lot of stories that we have to get into, but we can't get into them until we do the front page.
Now, the front page. The stories everyone's talking about. 97. The Fanatic.
All right, as we said tonight, Game 3, New York Knicks, Philadelphia 76ers down at the Wells Fargo Center. Anthony Melton practiced yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, as we talked about for a little bit. How are they going to use him? Are they going to use him? What will the game plan be? That is something that Amy and I will talk about all day today. Is there going to be changes to the rotation? How are they going to continue to defend Jalen Brunson? It's a talking point that we kind of dipped into a little bit yesterday, but I want to talk to Amy about it. And that is, okay, you've covered Jalen Brunson really well in the first 2 games, but you didn't win. So do you change that up, or do you stick with the good thing, and do you look at it and say, well, should have won game 2, so why would you change anything? We'll talk about all that. The momentum. This is funny. I was talking to one of my buddies on the way in today. I know, I talk on the phone an awful lot. And he's like, this sounds weird. They're down 0-2. But I feel like the Sixers have momentum.
Isn't that weird?
I don't know why, but I couldn't disagree with him.
Exactly.
He brought it up, and it kind of shocked me.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
All right.
Oh. So we'll talk about that. Another weird thing that my buddy pointed out to me, and he is a very good, he's very knowledgeable about the gambling scene. The line on tonight's game told him something. So I'll let you know what that is, and it has to do with the other lines that were presented of other games in this series. I'm going to put the question out there to Amy. She's not going to answer it now, but we'll answer it later. Could this be a case of whoever wins this game wins the series? Maybe, maybe not. We'll have thoughts on that. Your Philadelphia Eagles, as we talked about, they have picked number 22 tonight. A lot of people are wondering, are they going to keep it? Aren't they? Are they going to move up? I don't think they're going to move back, and I hope to God they don't move back. I don't know why, but whenever that happens in a draft, it rubs me the wrong way. Don't like it at all. So the draft is in Detroit tonight. There's a bunch of things that could happen. I'm going to ask you, what do you want to happen? And what can't happen for the Eagles tonight? To me, I already gave you my answer on the can't happen. They can't move back. I just don't like that.
Yeah.
It makes me think like, oh, you don't like anybody in this draft. You know, like, nah.
It seems like you're overthinking it.
Yeah, no, don't move back.
No.
I don't want that. Bill Colarulo was on here yesterday and said he wanted to keep, and I think Kincade said it also, they want to keep the 3 picks that you have, the one in the first, number 22, and then number 50 and number 53. Get 3 players there. I don't really have much thought on that, but we'll take a deeper look on it. If the Eagles remain at the pick 22, you'll be lucky because it'll be after the Sixers game that pick would come. Your Phillies, they lost their second in a row, 7-4 to the Cincinnati Reds. They got to win today. You got to get back on the winning track today because this is a long road trip that gets completed out west. Oh, and it just so happens to coincide. Yeah, Ray decided to take a long weekend. I'm surprised you're here today, but he decided to take a long weekend, Aim. Like you and I, if we take a long weekend, I don't know, maybe go down the shore.
Right.
Or maybe the Poconos.
Trip.
Yeah. No, Ray says, you know what? I'm going to swing out west. Not like Harrisburg or anything like that. No. He's
Far
going
west.
San Diego.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why I wore the Padres colors for you today, right?
It's true.
I wore it just
Wearing the Padres colors before a series with the Phils?
I wore it for you because you're going
Conflicting,
out.
rooting
Don't
interest.
question me. You just be quiet and do your job today before you leave, okay? The bullpen, 6 earned runs in 3 innings last night.
That was rough.
Another good start by a Phillies starter.
Maybe his last start.
It could be. Spencer Turnbull goes 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts. Amy, listen to these numbers because I did them again.
I could see that.
In the last 8 starts by your Philadelphia Phillies pitchers, they've gone 59 and 2/3 of an inning. They've only given up 31 hits, 5 earned runs,
That's ridiculous.
15 walks, 64 strikeouts, a .75 ERA. That's incredible.
That is incredible.
Absolutely incredible. So they go today again, 110, I believe is the starting time. Zach Wheeler on the mound for you, who has been really, really good this year. And they finally got him a win, or the team got a win in his last start because they had been 0-4 in his starts previously, although he's pitched really, really well. So got all that going on today and a whole lot more. So, Aim, tell me, how you feeling?
I feel
You good?
I feel good.
Yeah?
I feel good. I'm kind of.
There's never a time, though, that you don't.
That's true. I am a generally very positive. Every day is a good day. You wake up. I'm excited to be here. But I feel good. Today is a great day. It's a great day. I'm with your friend. I feel like there's momentum, which is weird to say, but I do feel like there's momentum because I feel like in them, right? I talked about it. I think in a lot of people's minds, it is 1-1, even if it's not. So when you win 2 at home, I think you feel like, all right, now we've got a good chance in Game 5. But obviously, you have to take care of business, and it starts tonight. It starts all tonight.
Yeah, we can't do Game 5. You know that.
You have to do Game 3 first.
Game 3 and then 4.
Then 4 on
So
Sunday.
I was telling John and Andrew that I made a bunch of calls yesterday. Just NBA people that are, that are basketball. I would call, thank you, Ray. I would call them basketball experts, something like that. Out of 11 people that I talked to, 9 said, without hesitation, 9 said it's going to be 2-2 going back to New York.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of confidence there. Just because of how, you could have won Game 1, you should have won Game 2, I think is a lot of the perception out there. So I'd be like, yeah, I could see that. I mean, obviously, we want to take care of business, and you don't want to have to lull it into. The only thing that I don't agree with a lot of people that I talk to, they think it's going to be in hand, early fourth quarter. And as much as I would love that, hey, you can take the big guy out, get a little rest. I don't know that I believe that this Knicks team just has too much fight, but I think it will be a win. I just don't know that it'll be in hand to start the fourth quarter.
All right, so here's the question I want to pose to you to start the day. As we said, it feels weird to say you can feel like the Sixers have momentum being down 0-2, but I think people feel good. Could you be disappointed after a loss tonight? Let me set us in. Yeah? Oh, you went, yeah. I thought you were going to say, no, they win a game, you win a game. But you went, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could be disappointed.
After
a loss?
No, if they win tonight.
Oh, so you said disappointed after a loss.
I'm sorry.
So I was like, yeah.
I'm sorry. If they win tonight,
Just a bit.
Is there any possibility you could be disappointed?
I mean, you have to qualify that. Is there a possibility? Yes, because something catastrophic happened.
Not catastrophic.
But no, I won't be disappointed after. No matter how, there is no room for comments in the win-loss section. Okay, you just put the W and you move on. You know this.
Okay. You get a win tonight. Embiid and Maxey are really,
fine.
really good.
Good.
And Tobias Harris poops the bed.
Exactly. And I get nothing from Buddy Hield. Is that what you're saying?
And Buddy Hield gives you absolutely nothing. And, Kelly Oubre gets you 12 points or something like
but
that.
Gives me great defense
but still
on
gives
Jalen.
you good defense. Yeah. Is there any chance of coming tomorrow? Yeah, Ray won't be here tomorrow.
Yeah,
Ray's he's leaving.
Because he's in San Diego.
But, yeah, you and
So
I are
it's
going to work
basically
15-hour days today. But Ray's coming to San Diego.
If it's just like if they won Game 2 is what you're asking me. If they had won Game 2, which is basically what you're saying, you get
I guess,
almost
but
nothing
now I'm contradicting myself.
Right? Because
But no, I'm not contradicting. I put it out as a question.
Okay.
I didn't say
Yeah,
I
you
had
didn't
a
say.
feeling.
But it's basically exactly if Game 2 had gone the Sixers' way, which was all Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, with not a lot from the supporting cast, would I have been happy? I would have been happy because obviously that was in the Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd still be happy.
Yeah, I think I
always
would
happy.
be too.
See, so.
Because when that game got over, the most impressive thing about that Game 2 to me was in the third quarter, the Knicks looked like they were going to take control of the game. and they get up 6 or 8, and the Sixers have a huge possession, and Maxey bangs a 3. And I was just like, yeah, is this going to get up to like 13, 15?
Right.
And then it's going to. And I don't want to say expecting, but it wouldn't have surprised me. And then the Sixers fight back, and then they take a lead. And then it gets to be like 2 minutes to go in the game. You're like, oh, man, they're going to pull this out. So a win would have made me extraordinarily happy because I thought they fought, and then the sidebar would have been, okay, yeah, you still have to get more out of all the players that we mentioned. So I put it out there as a question. I thought you would, absolutely not. A win is a win. I don't care about the other side stuff. I was going to come back to you with, yeah, but there's a good chance we could be in here tomorrow morning talking about a win and still be like, but I don't think we would be.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're relief. There's so much relief from getting a win at this point when you're down 0-2. But yeah, I think there'll still be room to dissect it because you want to go ahead and get better. Each game is about getting better, making the adjustments and getting better. So if something happens where you don't get enough from a player that you expect, right? You can name a couple of them, whether it's a Buddy Hield or a Tobias Harris or a Kelly Oubre offensively. I think there's still room for dissection, but I don't know that I would be the dissection wouldn't garner a disappointment from me.
Right. One of the questions I was going to ask you, but I think we already have the answer. Can they win with those secondary pieces not performing? Well, they should have won the other night with those pieces not really performing.
So, I mean, you don't have to dissect the 2-minute report anymore, but all you need to know is if they called the foul on Tyrese Maxey, let's say that for whatever reason, even if they called it nothing and just stopped the clock and so you could advance it in the timeout, if anything else had happened, I like the Sixers' chances in that one. Whether it was Tyrese Maxey going to the line, whether it was getting the ball further up the court to have a better look at the play, something would have gone better in their last minute or 30 seconds at that point. So I don't have a lot of doubt about winning that game. So that's why I guess I feel so confident about this one and being able to win without the role players. You do figure, and we've talked about this, you do figure the averages will average out, right?
Right.
Something has to come back. And I saw something, and it was a little frustrating because people are pointing out, and we always do this here in Philadelphia because we kind of make the mistake sometimes. People are disappointed when they see a guy like Isaiah Joe for the Thunder hit the threes, and you're thinking, that guy was here, and then now he's not, and we have Buddy Hield who has not hit the threes. So obviously, it's completely different. It's a different scheme. They're playing a different team, whatever. But you can point out things like that. Like you expect Buddy Hield to make a 3. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
This is your job.
So I have that game on last night, and I'm sitting in my chair like doing some work, so I have my head down. And then I had my head down, my glasses off because I'm, doing work or whatever. And I just hear the name. And another 3 for Isaiah Joe. Head up, glasses on. And like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. He
But
was that guy.
He is. And a lot of people got in touch with me when they got rid of Isaiah Joe, saying
People
that it
liked
was
him.
a mistake.
Yeah, a lot of people liked him.
A lot of people
A lot of
liked
basketball
him.
people did.
Another positive I have here, Aim, is I have a buddy who, how should I phrase this? Is very knowledgeable in the betting world, let's say that way.
Mm-hmm.
He has never seen, told me this morning, never ever has he seen in an NBA playoff series a 10-point switch in betting lines like has gone on in this Sixers series. So the Knicks were favored by 5 in Madison Square Garden for Game 2. Sixers are favored by 5 tonight.
Yeah,
he said
that's
never.
a big swing.
He said in a series like this, you would normally see like 2.5 Knicks up there. Maybe come back here if they're down 0-2. It's probably even. Maybe the Sixers are favored by like 1 or 2. Never a 10-point swing like that. I said, all right, what does it tell you? What do you think it told him?
Home court is so important.
Blowout tonight. That's what he said, yeah.
So many people think blowout.
I know, and the worst part about it is Kincade thinks it too. And, like, if he thinks it, it makes me wonder.
Listen, if we're going to be wrong on one thing, be wrong on the fact that it's a blowout win.
Yeah.
I will absolutely be like, yep, sorry, everybody, I missed on that one. I don't see it. I don't see it. But listen, it would be great because then you could get Joel Embiid some rest and all these other role players, get them a little taste in case you need to use them. I know we could talk about that coming up, but a lot of people go, put in Ricky Council or KJ Mark. I don't know if in certain cruxes of games you're going to do that to them. It's a lot to ask, but maybe there's an opportunity. If it is a blowout, you get a little run from some of the other guys further down the bench.
Yeah, maybe take a look, right?
But
I don't.
Listen, I'll be wrong on that one. I'll be wrong on that one.
That's
I'll
way
gladly,
down on my list of
I'll
expectations.
gladly be wrong on a blowout win. I'm going to say win. I'm just not going to say blowout win. But I'll be wrong on it. And that's fine.
I'd love to be wrong.
Yeah,
I just can't see this Knicks team getting blown out by the Sixers. They've played each other 6 times this year.
Exactly. They know each other so well, and there's just so many adjustments, not just before the game, but in game. They have the tendencies kind of down.
Yeah.
It feels like a chess match in the fact that they knew almost everything that they're going to answer with, which is good because I feel like the Sixers have answered with everything. So they've been, equaling their moves every time Thibodeau makes a move. The Sixers make a move. You see, obviously, Nick Nurse with so I've been good with the adjustments that have been made. That's why I just don't think that the Knicks are going to be like, oh, no, ours has been fine. We're going to go with that.
Like you said, we really don't need any fuel to add to this fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think Sixers fans are ready to go. However, Amy Fadool, yesterday, since we weren't together, I want to play this today also. Yesterday, that coach up there in New York, the balding guy that has like the mean face and he's not real happy at all. Well, he had something to say about the last 2-minute report by the NBA.
No, I'm more concerned with the 46-minute report. No, and that's and I mean that. I knew they couldn't call a foul there. I'm watching the way Jalen's being guarded.
The Sixers
I'm locked into Game 3. That's where we are. We don't get sidetracked with that stuff. I just like I said, I watched the whole game, not 2 minutes worth.
So we talked about what came out in The Athletic, that 47% of NBA players polled were asked, who is the one coach in the league that you would not want to play for? 47% said Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Does that tell you why right there?
Exactly. I mean,
come on.
Also, the best is they had filed a grievance earlier in the season for a game they should have won.
Right. Exactly.
So he didn't pay attention to the 46-minute report for that game.
Well, I guess then is when
Just
he
I'll
looked
go
at the
with
last 2-minute report. Like, he tries to make a joke. You can tell when somebody's not funny when he throws out a joke and you hear the reporters go, yeah, that's good. And that's probably the funniest he can be. So, I don't know. I heard that yesterday, and I watched it yesterday, and I'm like, I just want to beat this guy.
Yeah.
Like, I do. I just want to beat him.
His joke was he had written it down. That sounded like he had written that down. He's like, oh, I know they're going to ask me about it, so I'm gonna make this joke. This is going to be funny.
No, I watched
the punchline was not delivered well.
Minutes.
The 46 minutes.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right, come
Whatever.
on. You got it. Let's
Whatever,
go
guy.
Sixers. You got to take it in. There's a lot of different storylines going on. I railed on the morning show yesterday, so I won't rail too much on them again today. But the whole Villanova putting out tweets, I don't care who other people root for. And if it bothers you, so be it. But I can't waste my time caring who roots for who says what about, I don't. If you have a rooting interest, I'll tell you what, any Big 5 team and Drexel, if they're doing well in a tournament, I'm rooting for all of them.
Yeah, so
I don't care.
Let's say there was a Drexel player, Damian Lee, and he was playing when he was playing for the Warriors. The Sixers got
very
there.
Good by
Thank you. And so could Drexel not tweet out about Damian Lee if they were playing the Sixers? That would be sad for Drexel.
Yes,
it's a recruiting tool. Like, let's be honest. It's a recruiting tool. They want to hype up their guys. They want to show, listen, we've got guys doing well in the NBA. Unfortunately, it comes against the Sixers, but that's where the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, so that is where the cookie crumbles. There's going to be some cookie crumbling tonight down at the Wells Fargo Center at 7:30 as Game 3 takes place. We're going to get all into it. I have a question that I'm going to put out there to you guys. And you can let us know what you think at 610-632-0975. I'm also going to ask it to Amy Fadool, who's with us all day long. It concerns something that happened yesterday. Does it affect anything moving forward for your Philadelphia 76ers? Amy Fadool's here all day long. This is Middays. Bob Cooney, 97.5 The Fanatic. Welcome back on this eventful Thursday that we have going on. What a day, what a day, what a day. 1 o'clock Phillies, 7:30 Game 3, Sixers, Knicks. And then the Eagles have the 22nd pick overall. Somewhere among that timeline, Ray is going to be flying to his West Coast vacation, swing weekend,
Yeah, late birthday celebration.
Yeah, it's just, hey, hey, what are you doing tonight, Ray? I don't know. I think I'm going to swing out to
San Diego.
San Diego,
No big deal.
California. Yeah, okay, it's all right.
No big
10 o'clock hour, it's brought to you by Window Nation. Take advantage of Window Nation's 50% off sale on all style windows. Plus, make no down payment with no payments and no interest for 12 full months. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
I thought I'd been talking a lot about this. You've blown me out of the water, honestly, in talking about where I'm
Water,
going.
you mean like the Pacific Ocean that you're going to be waddling in this weekend?
Beautiful.
Probably, yeah.
A little
If I had
cold.
to imagine.
Little cold out there.
Yeah, it's going to be a little chilly.
A little chilly.
Like for San Diego standards, of course.
Yes.
It'll still be sunny. It'll be nice.
Beautiful.
Oh, good for you, Ray.
I'm looking forward to
Yes.
it, Bob.
Yeah, that's
Love
good.
it.
Yeah.
And he comes in this morning and says, "Oh, guess what? They have this special at the ballpark where, like,
That's
you go
amazing.
in,
I was
you go
so
in,
excited
and they
for
pay
him.
you hundreds of dollars, and they give you free
That's-
beers."
that's
or
not-
something. I'm like, okay, Ray, could life get any better?
All right,
and you're
Mr.
like,
Journalist, we
"No,
need
I
you to
don't
tell the
think so."
truth. You know,
It's
can you
still a
please
good
report
deal.
correctly?
That's a fun find.
Didn't it sound something like that, Aim?
I think it was like $5 all you can drink.
Yeah, not quite, but sure, we'll go with that
We're
too.
getting closer.
We're getting closer.
Somewhere we're
I'm
driving
paying
along.
money.
Yeah, it's somewhere in between the two. But yeah, Ray, we hope you have a really
It's
good
gonna be
time.
fun.
While Amy and I are putting in 15 hours today, you have fun going to where you have to go. But
I'll be listening. I'll be watching.
No, that's all right. We don't need you.
Okay.
All right, so
well, never mind.
Sure we do.
Aim yesterday.
Maybe I'll watch you.
Thank you.
I'm not
We
listening
get-
to him anymore.
Thanks.
Would you please? We have a show to do here. We're not talking about your vacation all the time. I'm going to get an email
I'm
from
sorry. I thought that was the whole
the
show sheet.
bosses. So yesterday we get word that DeAnthony Melton practiced, and he talked afterwards and said, "Yeah, I'm good,
I feel
good to
good."
go." My first reaction when did we play yesterday, Ray, or just talk? Or I guess I read the tweet of what his quote was. I went, I don't think he's playing, and a part of it was what he sounded like. Yeah, I'm ready to go. We heard Nick Nurse say before, and I think you and I have talked about it, that he's not using the playoffs to get people in condition to get ready to play. I guess that's what you'd be doing. I mean, the last time I saw DeAnthony Melton out on the floor, he played 5 minutes. And I told you the camera from behind was showing a foul shot, and he had his hands on his hip, and he's twisting his back and forth. And I said out loud, "Oh, that's not good."
No. And then you didn't see him
And then
again.
we didn't see him anymore. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think Nick Nurse is going to do, if anything, with DeAnthony Melton tonight?
Listen, it would be such a great boon for that second unit to have a guy, the 3-and-D guy. We all know that. But this isn't the time to get the guy his reps. You have to work your way back in. If he's been, I guess it depends on what's been going on behind the scenes. Has
Right.
he been like ramping up? Has this been a whole ramp up period since he went out after playing those 5 minutes? I don't think so, because you can go to practice. You don't see him. They have to give you these updates. And they've said things like he's close and he is working his way up and he's doing some cardio and things like that. But as far as like having a full practice, that was the first full practice. Now, obviously, they haven't had that many practices, but he had not practiced. He had not been shooting around with the team. We've seen him before the games. He's not in uniform. He's not been shooting around. So I don't know. While it would be really great, I don't know that it wouldn't surprise me if you see him. Listen, the blowout that's happening, get him in. Let's get him some work. But if it's not a blowout, it's a close game. I can't imagine a scenario in a close game that you play DeAnthony Melton knowing that he has not played really any remarkable minutes in the calendar year 2024. You're
Right.
looking at like a couple of games here and there as far as like real like crux of game 20 plus minutes. He has not done that in the calendar year of 2024. I don't know that this is the day you all right, let's do it.
Yeah. So what do you think? DeAnthony Melton, he's good to go. He says he can give you some minutes. If you're Nick Nurse, what are you doing? Because we've talked a lot about these secondary pieces.
Maybe I give
and
him
how they
Fields
haven't-
11 minutes.
So that's what I brought up yesterday. Let us know what you think about it. 610-632-0975. It doesn't just have to be DeAnthony Melton. How do you feel about tonight's game in general? Maybe some keys you need to see. All of that. We love to hear from you. So let us know at 610-632-0975. One of the things I said yesterday, Aim, was, okay, Kyle Lowry's put in 38 and 34 minutes. Now, they're only playing 2 games in like 6-day span
Right.
now. Like they're on a good stretch here as far as playoffs go. Do you go to DeAnthony Melton and Tobias Harris and Kelly Oubre? Hey, guys, come here. All right, you see this guy, DeAnthony Melton? He hasn't played a lot because he's got a bad back. But guess what? I'm going to give him some of Kyle's minutes so that he's going to run around and he's going to guard, for you too, he's going to guard Jalen Brunson. Now, you two can really start to think about the offensive part of the game instead of having to chase that little 6'1" guy around who's a pain in the butt that gets everywhere he wants to because he pushes off with his right arm and dips his left shoulder and all of these things. Could you see that, Aim? Could you see,
see that.
an 11 minutes, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, whatever?
I could see that.
DeAnthony, go out there. I don't care if you use all 6 of your fouls right now. Go out there and bother the crap out of Jalen Brunson, Tobias, and Kelly. I want you guys to just concentrate.
We need to get us our. What does that second unit look like? So let's think about it. So Kyle is a starter. So now the second out there with the second unit, which is normal. Kelly Oubre, who has been starting, but you keep him out there.
Maxi's going to be out there if Embiid's not there because you need some
Right,
scoring.
because you need, and then you have Nico Batum. Who else are you going with?
Well, you have B-Ball Paul's going to have to be in there.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Melton, Maxey, Oubre, B-Ball Paul. And he likes to have Tobias with that second unit. But if you take Tobias out of that, Buddy Hield.
Okay, because
so Melton, Maxey, Hield, Oubre, B-Ball Paul. It's a little, it's not big, but your second unit, you're looking for energy. You're looking to move.
Run. You're looking to run.
Go.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully get Buddy Hield some open looks. And then maybe, but that being said, if the Sixers are into their second unit with Melton, do the Knicks have out Jalen Brunson?
They might have him out there for a little bit, but I would imagine the second time you try to do that, I would think he would also come out, especially if DeAnthony Melton is the defender that we know he can be, and he has shown, then it's like, well, why frustrate Jalen Brunson with this guy running all over him? We got to put him back in. That's an interesting scenario just because I don't know what that second unit would look like in its entirety and what the Knicks would. But I think there is a possibility that you could see DeAnthony Melton spell Kyle Lowry or someone else. He would have to get someone else's minutes. I thought it was interesting you want to put Hield in there, but I guess you left Oubre in. Yeah,
Oubre's in. Melton, Maxey, Oubre, B-Ball, Paul, Hield isn't. Yeah. Maxey gives you offense, obviously, and you're looking to get Oubre going.
Harris with Oubre. Yeah.
Yeah, there's different things here. But I also want to line it up. If I am going to use DeAnthony Melton tonight, if I'm Nick Nurse, I do want to line it up at a time where I know Jalen Brunson is going to be in the game.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it.
Brunson, I haven't really paid attention exactly to what their rotation. We know Joel Embiid's going to go all 12 minutes and sit the first 5 minutes.
Josh Hart plays 48.
Josh Hart doesn't come out. He went 44 and 48 so far this year.
Remarkable.
Amazing. But if Brunson comes out, say for they take him out 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, and they're reinserting him in the second quarter. If I'm going to use DeAnthony Melton in the way that I put out there to you, well, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it comes in to start the second.
Exactly. Yeah.
I could see that. Listen, if he says he's ready to go and he feels good about it, he is the best on-ball defender for Jalen Brunson.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it. If he is 100% in his, he can give what he's been known to give. Because you've seen that. He's proven that. He is a guy they call him Mr. Do Something because he does do something every single time. He's just been hampered by a terrible back injury. And you just wonder, there's 2 games or 2 days in between, game 3 and game 4. Maybe that's enough recovery. Are you selling short on DeAnthony Melton to get the game 3 win, to get something going back your way? Maybe you do. Maybe you hope that he is 100% and he can play games 3 and 4. That's the worry then for me, but I guess, you can worry about that down the line.
Yeah, so take DeAnthony Melton. All right, we've addressed that. That's how maybe we would use him if he uses him at all. It could be a case that Nick Nurse says, DeAnthony, loved you to death, buddy, but I can't afford to try something now. Maybe that's the case. Best case scenario would be, as we talked about, I don't know, Sixers have a big lead or whatever. Say they're up 15 in a second quarter and you throw him out there for a couple minutes to see how he is, see how he performs, all of that. But, Aim, take that away. We've discussed DeAnthony Melton. What else do you have to see? Not what else, but what do you have to see tonight from this Sixers team? Bill Colarulo had a good line. Like I was saying yesterday, it might have been on the DeAnthony Melton front or something. I'm saying, well, should they do this? Should they do that? And he goes, why do you have to change? You should have won game 2.
Yeah.
You should have won the game except for unbelievable circumstances. You lost. So, is there a lot of change that needs to go into Game 3 to you, Aim?
You mean as far as defensive adjustments or overall
Anything. Yeah,
overall
like-
adjustments?
yeah.
I wouldn't do. We talked about it on our post game set, and I asked Jim Lynam, who I know was on yesterday with the best show ever, but I wouldn't change anything on the defensive front for Jalen Brunson. I would keep that going.
Okay.
I get the theory behind it of like, oh, maybe you take a couple of, not plays off, but maybe you don't completely crowd him all the time to the detriment of the offense on the players that are guarding him, like Kelly Oubre, and then later Tobias Harris, but really Oubre overall. I wouldn't change that front. I wouldn't change a whole lot. I think there's a couple things I would do. I would have a couple of play calls to try to get Buddy Hield going if indeed you're going to stick with him as
Right.
that shooter as part of the second unit. Almost 15 minutes the last game. That's enough time for Buddy Hield to get a couple of good looks. I would maybe call something specific for him. There was some talk about calling something specific for Tobias Harris. For me, he is who he is. He's been in this league long enough. He's been with the Sixers long enough. You don't need to set up certain plays for Tobias Harris to get open. You just need to have him be the catch and shoot guy, not to overthink things. No more driving to the lane. No more layups that are going to be missed there at the rim. I can't watch that anymore. But I feel like maybe the only thing I would think about is trying to call something for Buddy Hield, just because you need him to do something.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's just not either feeling it, or maybe he's just too tentative, or maybe he feels like, all right, well, I'm just going to defer. You're not here to defer. You're here to make threes. This is what your role is. So whether it's something you see him out there struggling a little bit, trying to find a spot, call a timeout, set something up, get Buddy Hield a good look. And if it doesn't work, then you go away from it. I don't think you stick with it for the whole game. It's not like you have to call a play for him every single time he's in. But I feel like maybe something, just one quick thing to get him going could really help, because I feel like that could be kind of a waterfall effect.
Yeah, I agree with you. My first thought with him was, all right, if he's with that second unit, which he is, get out and run. Get out and run and find your
something.
spot. Like they're not calling plays for Bogdanovich. They're not calling plays for Deuce McBride. They're just getting their shots naturally. They're good shooters. They find their openings and they take them. Buddy Hield's got to find his opening.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to do. For some reason, I can't explain it. And I've been to hundreds of NBA games. I can't explain why it's easier to run at home than it is on the road, but it is. And so that's a scenario that I think Nick Nurse may lay in the lap of a Buddy Hield. Like, hey, listen, when you're in the game, here's how we get you started. Run the floor, find the opening, let's get them the ball in an outlet, whatever. But have your feet set, have yourself ready to
Be
go,
ready.
and let's go. Because I do think if he knocks down one, if we see it tonight, second quarter, and, backups are in, and Buddy Hield gets down the floor, and there's kind of a fast break, hit him in a corner, or, somewhere on the perimeter, and he bangs a three, I think that could be the start of something pretty cool.
I agree. I think it'll be something. I think Kelly Oubre also could be that guy to kind of waterfall effect. It depends, obviously, defensively, but I feel like at home he plays better. I think he feeds off the crowd, both places, the Garden and everywhere else. I think he's an energy guy. But going downhill, they need to get out and run. That's the one thing that I thought that they set the tone in the 46 minutes,
Right.
47 and a half, really, of the game, too. They set the tone. They ran the offense they wanted. That's why you saw the score go up higher than it had been. And I thought that if they could get that going, Kelly Oubre should be able to get going as well. But, yeah, Hield, get set, be ready.
Yep.
Be ready in the
Bang
corner.
one down, and I think
Then you'll
everything
go.
will be pretty good. All right, we've run the gamut of emotions this week, and we know you have too. Monday was kind of a can't wait. Tuesday was what the hell happened. Wednesday, you still had some of that in you, but if we were all mature enough, and I'm not blaming if you weren't, we were trying to move forward, but there's been a gamut of emotions. Where are you on it? Because I love to hear it. I love to hear what everybody has to say about how they're feeling tonight, Game 3, 7:30 down at the Wells Fargo Center. Let us know, 610-632-0975. I don't think Amy and I have to be doctors today of it's okay, everything's all right. I think it's more, let's share where you are.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this team tonight going into Game 3? Amy Fadul with us all day long till 2 o'clock closing time. This is Bob Cooney, Midday, 97.5 The Fanatic. Welcome back on this great sports Thursday we got going on here in Philadelphia. Phillies at 1, Sixers at 7:30. Eagles pick number 22 tonight. Or will they? What's that movie where they got
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers? Or will they? I'm not talking to you, Ray. Don't you have any reaction today? You just he already has one foot out the door, so we're not expecting all that much
He's
out
locked
of Ray
in.
today.
He is locked in.
But he's acting like he's doing something, so he came in and said, "Oh, I put up a poll." So what do we got, Ray? What'd you put up on the 97.5 The Fanatic poll board?
Yeah, so this is at 975 Middays, and this is my way of doing work today. I'm putting up multiple polls for the people.
Oh my God, he's crazy. He's a nut.
Yeah, I'm just going crazy today. Big day for sports. So the first one, how do you see Game 3 playing out for the 76ers? 4 options for you. Win by 10 plus, win by 1 to 10, lose by 1 to 10, and lose by 10 plus. Right now, people very confident. There are more people that believe the 76ers are going to win by double digits than believe that they will lose. Both the lose options combined are less than win by double digits right now.
Wow.
Win by 1 to 10 is winning.
I love the confidence, though. I love it.
Sure, why not?
Listen, if you're going to be wrong, again, be wrong the fact that it's a blowout win.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, I reached out to, I started counting once I got to 6, and I said, let me get to double digits. 11 people last night I talked to that I consider really good basketball minds. 9 of them, Sixers will tie this series before it goes back to New York. All right, the other big happening we got going on, not just tonight, but it is all weekend. And, Aim, I know you love it just as much as anybody. It is so cool in the weekend just to keep an eye on the draft board and what's going on with the Philadelphia Eagles. So right now, nothing more has changed. Still at pick number 22. We've talked endlessly about who, what, where, when, why, all of those things. Aim, I don't think that you and I, though, have talked about it all
Not
that
as much.
No. So I'll just ask you a series of questions. Do they stay at number 22?
No.
Emphatic no.
No, there's no way.
Do they move back?
No.
They move up.
Yeah.
To now this number 16 slot that the Seattle Seahawks has been rumored to be up for, some things. I put it to Bill Colarulo yesterday. I said, how about if you go 16, if you trade the 22nd pick and the 53rd, and you move up to 16. He's shaking his head no the whole time, and you get the 16th pick and the 99th pick that Seattle has. And he goes, what do you do? He took out his calculator, right, Ray? I don't even know what this is.
Draft value chart.
The value chart. And he did it all, and he goes, oh, my God, that works out perfectly.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in moving up to 16?
Yes, I might go up higher.
Oh, hey, look at her.
I mean, if you're going, let's go. What about I've
Go
heard
bigger, stay at home? Is that what you're saying?
I've heard the Broncos might be shopping their pick, which is
number 12.
Then you can get Terry and Arnold.
Wow.
All right. Now
That's what I'm saying. Listen, I love Kool-Aid McKinstry, and Dylan, I think, brought in some Kool-Aid, which I will be sipping on later, which is so great.
There's nothing better for people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So Dylan reminds me of my oldest son.
So
He's just like a happy-go-lucky, nothing bothers him or anything.
He wanted to get, I guess, a Kool-Aid shirt. I wanted to have the full Kool-Aid costume. I thought that would have been really good, but I'm not like full on in Kool-Aid McKinstry. I love him, but I think you can go up and get Terry and Arnold. But if they do stay in the 20 or even move up to an 18 or something, if you feel like the cornerbacks are flying off the board and if you want a corner, then you might have to move up a smidge. I'm going to be great with Kool-Aid McKinstry, so I told Dylan that I will be sipping that Kool-Aid out there.
Yeah, so Dylan just like Ray and I went downstairs to get his free cup of coffee, and we go down, we get that. We come back up, and there's Dylan just standing there. Now, Dylan's always wearing shorts, and he's got a T-shirt, and he's just standing there sipping his Kool-Aid with a case of Kool-Aid sitting on the counter. And I'm like, he is the greatest. Okay, let me put this scenario to you, Miss Fadul, Mrs. Kane, however you want to go.
All of it.
You're sitting there, and you're the Eagles, and Denver has a 12th pick. And for some unknown reason, inexplicably, there is still somebody on the board named Brock Bowers.
I mean, yeah.
Is it a no-brainer? You already have a tight end.
Brock Bowers, though. Brock Bowers? Yes, Brock Bowers. Yes, please. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
No, I'm not kidding you.
No, that's...
the latest mock draft that I looked at.
It's like when Jalen Carter was there, and you're thinking, oh, there's no way. Is there a way? And you saw him keep going. You thought, yeah, we got to do this. You got to do this. If you have the chance to get... I think that he could be one of... like the best tight ends in the next 5 years.
You have a tight end, obviously. You have a bunch of needs other places, obviously. Tight end, No one would have thought tight end's one of your first picks.
If he's there.
But see, the reason I
don't
put
think
it
he's
there is
gonna
I
be there.
love him.
Yeah.
I loved
I don't
watching
think
him
he's going to
play.
be there.
Now, the latest mock that I looked at had him going 10 to the Jets.
Yeah, I've seen pretty much. Yeah, that's a.
Right? Like
in
8,
that,
10-ish, 12-ish area, maybe?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything below 12.
Yeah. That would be interesting. I would.
Yeah, that's not something that's on the board, but I feel like it's there's so differing of draft philosophies. Do you have a target guys of like if they fall here, we don't need them, but this is a generational player that
Right.
could really fit into our offense/defense, whatever it is, or do you strictly go with need-based best player at the need? It just depends. If they've traditionally done, we need these things. This is what we are going to do. We rank the players that we need, and we draft from there. But I can't imagine if a Brock Bowers falls that out to them anywhere like outside of that you
Yeah.
don't start making some calls. And then if it works out, it works out. It doesn't. You're not going to commit all your draft capital to go up and get him.
No.
But it would be very interesting.
Yeah, that would be cool. And it's funny, the mock draft that I called up has the Eagles moving up to 16
Okay.
and taking Terry and Arnold.
There you go. Well, if he's there at 16, where you can move up to get Terry and Arnold, I think that's the key. McKinstry, wonderful. They were obviously 1 and 1A
Right.
in that secondary for Alabama. I'm always a proponent of drafting players that you look at their college tape and it immediately translates to the pro game. They obviously run an NFL style defense and offense down
Right.
there, but certainly defense in
Well,
Alabama.
think about it. They're going against number 1 wide receivers too.
It's constantly, and they're
Yeah.
working so hard. I think it's a can't miss. for me.
So, would you say you know what? We'll get back to. I'm going to ask you probability of where the Eagles may go, and we'll look at all that. We'll do some more draft stuff. Obviously, it's Sixers Knicks day. Also, what are your thoughts today? How are you feeling? Sixers are favored by 5 points tonight. Too much for you? Sound about right? You think it's going to be a blowout? Let us know, 610-632-0975. Amy Fadul with us all day long. Midday show, Bob Cooney, 97.5 The Fanatic. Thursday, as we get ready for all things that is sports, starts in a couple hours. You got the fight going at 1 o'clock. Zach Wheeler on the mound. And then, of course, the big one tonight down at the Wells Fargo Center, 7:30, Game 3. Sixers-Knicks. Sixers down 0-2 in the series so far. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, Aim, but I love this. And we're joined by Amy Fadul all day today until the lights go out at 2 o'clock. Right. Then they put them back on for the best show ever. But me and you, it's like a bar in here. You know, like 2 o'clock. It's closing time. But what Joel Embiid said after the game on Monday, you had everything going on of badness. And we talked about it a little bit on Tuesday. I love it. I love it. I've replayed it. I've listened to it over and over again. Not only that he said it, but the emphatic way that he said, this isn't done.
I don't think people realize, if you go back and you hear Joel Embiid in the course of his career here, he's not a big emotional type of guy. He doesn't like fly off the cuff.
Exactly.
He doesn't speak from the hip. He's very methodical. That's how he approaches the game. He watches a lot of basketball. He studies it. He watches a lot of the shows that, with the critics. He listens out there. He reads a lot of stuff. But I think that was probably the most emphatic he's been about something afterwards. It kind of recalled to me when he spoke after the double doink, right? The bounce in the Raptors.
After he cried. He was emotional.
He was very, like, I don't want to feel this again. I don't want to be a part of this.
That's right.
He changed a lot about how he approached his offseason because of that game and that series and how that season ended. And so you saw him come with a better approach overall, right? Since then, since 2019, you've seen him. There's no more questions about him being in shape and whatever else. And those were kind of answered because he took all that stuff seriously. That was the last time I heard him kind of speak that way after a loss, the emphatic nature, the emotional nature. He's just usually not that guy. He's an even-keeled kind of guy, and he'll give you a good answer. But I thought when he came out and said that, it's exactly what you want to hear from your leader, one, and two, in the nature that he said it, the tone that he said it in, I thought was really important. He was very, very sure. Like, we are winning this series. We should be up. We should be at least 1-1 or 2-0, but he said we are winning this series. And he said it multiple times.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Well, let's hear exactly what he did say. This was directly after the game the other night, Monday night. And you know how much of a heart-wrenching loss it was. But instead of teeing off anyway that way, here's where Joel Embiid went.
We're good. We're going to win this series. We're going to win this. We know what we got to fix. We did a better job today, so we're going to fix it. But we're the better team, and we're going to keep fighting.
Love it.
I love it.
Absolutely love it. Then the next night, Tyrese Maxey wins Most Improved Player of the NBA. I don't want to play that sound because it had music in the background and stuff like that.
He was at their practice facility.
Yeah. But it was awesome what he said. Tyrese Maxey goes, I got to be stronger with the basketball. That's on me. I got my layup blocked. That's on me. Like, are you kidding me? 23-year-old like that? Yeah. Would he go to Kentucky or something? I mean,
listen, he's a winner. He's a winner.
He is. And we talk about bulletin board material, and we've talked about it a lot, and B-Ball Paul said what he said before the series started. I think what Joel Embiid said is bulletin board material.
For the Sixers.
For this. Exactly.
Yeah.
My gosh, she finishes my sentences.
We know each other so well.
I thought I had like a really good thought there, and Amy's
but
just
it's
like,
so true.
Boom.
Because that's the bulletin. You want to be able to go around to each player and reinforce with them their leader, their number one guy, their MVP believes in you. You need to believe. And your second player, who is most improved player in the entire NBA, an all-star for the first time, obviously a tremendous player, has helped carry you games 1 and games 2 in Tyrese Maxey. He believes in you. So if there's ever any doubt, any surety of you're sitting there and thinking, I don't know, or you're down, or you're close, don't. Rely on those guys. They believe in you. So that is something they can point to. And I would think as a teammate of those players, hearing their words, whether it's Tyrese Maxey saying, listen, I got to be better. And you're thinking, that guy has to be 35 points. He needs to be better. What am I doing?
10 assists and 9 rebounds.
I mean, he had a heck of a game.
I was reading a story today of people that have done that in the playoffs. Michael Jordan's done it once.
It's remarkable.
And there's a list of people that have done it. And, LeBron James like 8 or 9 times, something crazy like that. But, yeah, he put himself in an avenue with those guys. Yeah. And that is amazing what he did. So how you feeling today? Amy, I got to tell you, I don't think I've ever felt this city feel so good about a team being 0-2.
Right. No, that's never happened.
No, and
not here.
Why is it? Is it because the referee thing? that, may have distracted you from the part more of, yeah, they should have won the game because the refs blew it, so therefore you feel more confident? Is it the style of play that the Sixers have come with in these two games where they're taking away Jalen Brunson? They're taking away the head of the snake, as we hear, you and I hear all the time among NBA people. Head of the snake, head of the snake. He's their head of the snake. They've cut it off. Yeah. They've cut it off really well so far. So I don't know what it is, but there does seem to be a really good amount of confidence out there when it comes to the Philadelphia 76ers tonight. Do you feel that? Or are you going the other way? 610-632-0975. Let us know. Mitch in Phoenix, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Mitch?
I hate to disagree with such a nice lady, but I'm going to have to.
All right, Mitch.
How can a player be emphatic as you said that he was yesterday when he's got a towel over his head?
He didn't have a towel over his head. He was looking down.
He was looking
down.
He
was looking down. There was no towel on Joel Embiid's head when he said that.
Are you sure?
I mean, I did the post-game show, and I've got a picture of it right on my phone.
Okay, was he...
He was looking down because he has had some issues with light sensitivity, I believe. You've seen him wearing sunglasses, so he conducted his whole post-game with his head down. I think people looked at that thinking, no, I'm looking at the picture right now. No towel on his head. He does hold his hand in front of his eyes. He's been wearing sunglasses in the off days and when he comes into arenas with the bright lights, and I imagine he didn't want to look up into the camera lights.
Yeah. Towel or no towel? You don't think he was emphatic in what he said, Mitch?
Well, I never really get excited when he speaks. I love his play. I love what he does for the team when he's healthy. But as far as listening to his words, no, it's difficult for me.
All right, thanks, Mitch. Appreciate the call. I don't think I get all that excited when anybody talks like excited. I loved what he said. I'm going to have to disagree with Mitch.
Well,
and he was wrong to disagree with you, Amy.
He thought he was hanging, and a lot of people thought that. If you just looked at it,
hanging his head.
And that's not what it was.
No, he didn't want to look up at the lights. And for those who haven't seen before, and Amy and I obviously been around it forever, Amy especially working in the TV business, there are bright lights. People that come in with cameras and their lights, when they turn them on, they are bright. If you've gotten poked in the eye or if you're having some eye sensitivity, that's not where you want to be, having those camera lights shining on you. So that was what he was doing. I think we read a couple. Yeah, we read a couple of tweets of people mistakenly saying,
a lot of people
look at him hanging his head. Yeah,
because they just saw it. They weren't listening. They maybe didn't know what was. This is a guy who's never done that. It's not like he doesn't look at media in the eye. You and I have talked to him. He's not a guy that's just going to hang his head down there. It was clearly something was bothering him. He had his head down. He had his hands over his eyes. They are very bright. I think there's obviously been some light sensitivity issues with him.
Yeah.
It's been fine. Obviously, it hasn't affected the game at 34 points. You hope it continues that way. But yes, it wasn't
freaking me out, though, Aim. It's freaking me out.
The one blinking does freak you out.
Oh, my God.
How much are you going to be watching that tonight?
It was so weird that when I watched the game a second time from Monday night, I was watching him when he was playing. I was looking at his eyes just to see, all right, wait, what's going on here? Does he have one eye blinking at a time when he's playing the game? It doesn't appear to be affecting him that badly when he's playing. I don't notice any of the one eye blinks when he's concentrating on playing. If there's a foul shot or something like that, and then all of a sudden, it's left, right, left, right, left, right, the way his blinking goes. It's wild.
Yeah, it's something that we're going to continue to watch. We watch that. We watch his knee. You're watching everything.
Everything on Joel Embiid. Yeah, poor guy can't even blink without.
He can't even do a post-game press conference. We're going to have to get him some nice shades.
But the weird thing is, I haven't seen anything in the papers or anything about it.
The only thing, Keith Pompey, who we had on Monday, he asked Nick Nurse about it, and Nick Nurse said, no, he's fine. And then we haven't heard anything else about it.
Keith went more orbital. Is there anything, did he get hit in the face or anything wrong there? Because he has broken both orbital bones in his face prior. And, that's Nick Nurse, no.
No, he's fine.
We have gotten tape since you and I talked last. It looks like he got hit by, was it Kelly Oubre on the rebound, I believe? Or was
in game one,
where
there was
the overhead shot?
In the first quarter, he did get hit by OG Anunoby in the first quarter.
Yeah, there was another one.
I think it was Miami when Oubre was going to get the board, and he hit him in the face.
Whoa.
Kind of came down across the face.
Yeah, so maybe he should just wear a big mask or something. I don't know.
I think goggles. I'm going Rex specs. I love a rec spec look.
Just go down there and give him one of Shawnee's old pairs
Yeah,
and say,
fine,
like,
here you go.
hey, Joe, try. I was going to imitate, but I'm not
Please
gonna
do it. Please
No.
do it.
No, I can't.
It's so
I
high
can't
pitched
do
when
it.
you do
no,
it.
I know.
It's like a high Kermit the Frog.
I know. I was asking you about allergies this morning because I'm absolutely dying with allergies.
A lot of people are. I got
Yeah,
nothing.
you said your husband has allergies, one of your kids. But I think what exasperates it, so one of the main roads that I have to go down, one of the main streets when I leave my house to come into work, when I'm now living right near where I grew up, which is funny, but we used to go to parades on this street for the cherry blossom. Yeah. The whole street is lined with cherry blossom, and it's a couple miles long. Well, they have now come off, and it's like it's snowing when you go down this street with cherry. And I wonder if that's part of allergies that just kill me.
The pollen?
Something, yeah.
Interesting.
But, yeah, it's really, really bad today, so I apologize. So if you see tears coming out of my eyes, it's not because you're making me sad, Aim. It's just because
Happy
my
tears.
allergies are so damn bad today.
Allergy tears.
Yeah. So there's that. All right, here's the question I want to pose to you now in the 11 o'clock hour, Mrs. Kane, and that is this. Finish this sentence for me in the appropriate places. I need to see blank from blank tonight.
I need to see blank from blank. Wow, there's a lot of places you could go there.
And that's my very next sentence that I said. There's so many places to go on this.
A lot of places to go.
But realistically, yeah, there is many places you can go.
Is my number one answer to that?
Yes.
Okay, my number one answer to that is I need to see exactly what I saw from Tyrese Maxey in this game tonight.
And that's doable. Like, you're not asking for, I need to see 35 points from Buddy Hield. Like, that's not going to happen. What you're saying is very doable.
I need to see exactly the aggressive play, the three-point shooting, the running of the court, the fast break, the going up and under with these razzle-dazzle layups. I need to see exactly what I've seen from Tyrese Maxey tonight.
That's fair enough. Ray, if I pose that question to you, now I know you're going to be like on your private plane tonight at the time of the set, but you can watch it on your, mobile TV that you have also.
As Jet.
You need to see blank from blank tonight. How would you finish that, Ray?
I need to see anything offensively from someone not Embiid and Maxey in the second half.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, that's it. Like,
and you only said second half.
Second half.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, I would love to get it for both halves, but I feel greedy at this point. I did get 10 points from Tobias Harris in the first half. I'd love to see where he ended up in the second half. Like, I understand, you're playing defense. I understand. It's taxing, the whole thing. I'm not asking for, 25 from. I'm not asking for 15 for you in the second half. I'm asking, hey, maybe 6 or 7 points. Get me up to your average of 17 in the second half. Maybe give me a little bit of something. Kelly Oubre, incredibly aggressive for the last, 6 weeks of the season. Hey, the second half, let's get a little aggressive with that. Let's give me something. And I think part of this is, we continue. People are getting, Embiid's taking these threes. He's taking these threes. The movement's been lackluster. Like the other guys, to me, it's been lackluster to watch them offensively in the second half. I need you to give me something. I know it's there. I know you guys have it. Buddy Hield, hey, 1-3 in the second half. I don't need you to have the Buddy Hield game. But, hey, maybe knock down a three. Give us a little bit of threat of something else. Open up the floor a little bit so that the MVP can go to work with a little bit more space for him to operate.
Yeah, you talked about play design. That's something I'm doing. If Buddy Hield's in the game with Joel Embiid, whatever side of the foul line Joel Embiid is looking to post at times when he's not running the high pick and roll. Buddy, make sure you're on the same side as Joe, please. So when they double down, you're open.
You can find you real quickly.
Do it. And Joe, be careful because they're going to try to W from low, from the weak side. When they do that, when you hear the guys shout, pick up the ball and throw that skip pass over to the other corner, to the weak side, because that's wide open all the time. I agree with you, Ray. That's a good one by you. But I'll put it out there to everybody. Here's the question that I need you to answer. I need to see blank from blank tonight. What do you need to see? Because there seems to be a pretty good amount of confidence, but there is still things that we need to see from this Sixers team, obviously. David from Ben Salem, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's going on, David?
Good morning, Bob. How are you? Good morning, Amy. How you guys doing?
Good morning.
Great.
I'm doing good. I'm just trying to save my voice now, so I got to be ready for tonight.
Are you working tonight, David?
I might work, and I'll be there in 117, 118.
All right, I'll come by and say hi tonight.
I'm going to try to stop by and see you guys, too. So give you my thoughts, and I'll answer the question first. What I need to see tonight is bench scoring. We have to get something from the bench.
Scoring from the bench.
Yep,
That's a
I
good
think
one.
that's very important. And I know you said D'Anthony Melton practiced yesterday. Hopefully he'll be available and he can give us a little bit of scoring tonight.
Okay, I'm good with
So-
that, David. I'll come by and say hi to you tonight, buddy. I
All right, I
appreciate you
love you.
calling in. Love you too. Scoring from the bench.
Yeah.
I need scoring from the bench. Now, if we're talking scoring, we did a little scoring thing the other day with
Karate Mark.
Karate Mark. That's right. And he laid it out the starters, and I think he had them up to 195 points among the 5 starters, something like that.
Remarkable.
He had a lot of points there. What do you need from the bench?
Yeah, so give me the bench. Are we including D'Anthony Melton in the bench? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not.
Yeah,
it's
that's
funny.
confident.
Well, no, because this is just me. If I'm using him off the bench, I'm using him as a defensive player. So
I won't include him in
offensively, I'm not really
I got
expecting
Heald,
much.
Batum,
Paul
Hank.
Reed.
and Reed. Am I putting Campaign in there? Who's seen tiny minutes?
For a minute and a half, sure.
Give me 1-3, Cam. You get 1-3. You get 2 minutes to make it. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah,
So basically, I'm looking at Buddy Hield, Nico Batum, and Paul Reed.
basically,
That's
yeah.
it. I mean, listen, people are gonna like dissect the rotate. That's how rotations go. You're looking at 8-9
Shortens
players
up in the playoffs.
max in the playoffs.
Yep.
All right. So what do they get? 10 points between those three. The last game. It's too much to say double it. I'm gonna go 15. 15 points from the bench.
15 from each guy, like 45 total or 15 total points.
Oh, you asking me what's gonna happen or what do I want to happen?
What do you want from the bench?
Oh,
Give me a point
I was
total
like, what's
from
gonna
the
happen? I gave you 15 total.
15 points from 3 guys. You're going 5 points. Look, you're probably not wrong.
It's 5 points better than what they did last time, and they would have won the game if they had 5 additional points.
It's a good way of looking at it.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not asking for much. I think if you can get each guy about realistically 8 to 9 points, you're looking at like 25 points. from the
Okay.
bench. That's what I would like.
All right.
I would like 25 points total from the bench. I think that's a realistic option.
What do you need combined total from, let's say, Tobias Harris and Kelly Oubre? Point total.
Total?
And for those that aren't watching, Amy just rolled
Rolled
her
my eyes.
eyes at
That's
me
so
like I
bad.
was her husband asking her to, clean the bathroom or something.
That was so bad.
My
That
God.
was a hard eye
I've
roll.
known Amy for 16
Yeah,
years.
I
I've
don't-
never gotten that
yeah,
eye roll
I don't
before.
roll my eyes that much.
Yeah.
That was bad. It was almost like a physical eye roll too. Like my
The
my
head
got in
started
there,
to go,
too.
too.
It was
all-
so bad.
It was a whole body
She was actually
roll.
about to walk out of the studio.
This is ridiculous.
Can't stand this
You
show.
said- I love it. Oh, karate's gonna come out. I love it. I'm gonna say 25 points total from those guys, which again would be double what we've gotten from them the last game. Well, no,
Yeah.
I think they had 14 last game total combined, so that would be 30.
Okay.
Give me 28. Give me 28.
28?
28
Okay.
from Kelly Oubre and Tobias Harris together, and I feel like that
Okay.
is
Cool.
ridiculous to ask those guys. All you need is 14 points each.
You can't get 69 again from Joel Embiid and Tyrese. What are you laughing about? From
Nothing.
Joel Embiid and
Nothing.
Tyrese Maxey.
I was just thinking about something you said yesterday, Bob. You make me laugh. You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy,
Anyway,
Bob.
I'm sorry for the immaturity here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm the only mature one on this show.
Is that about doable?
70 points from those guys? Yeah.
Okay. Do you
I
need
told
it?
you I needed Tyrese
You need
Maxey
it.
to go.
Oh,
give
yeah,
me
yeah, you
exactly.
did.
So he needs to give me 35 again, and I'm going to need 30 plus from Joel. So 65 minimum from those fellas. And I'm according to Karate Mark's math, I think I'm up to 170 points. at this
Yeah,
point.
that should be enough to win.
But I got 25 from the bench, 28 from Kelly Oubre and Tobias Harris. So that's over 50. And then if you get another 65 from those guys, from Tyrese Maxey, and I'm at 110. So
Okay. All right.
that wins the game.
Yeah, I think it would too. So that's the question we're going to have out there for you for the rest of the show. I'm keeping score here. I'm going to go run down to the closet to see if we have anything to give away. Because if we get a great answer that I like the most, or maybe we all vote on it, I'm going to see if I can give something away. But I got to check the closet first. Can't make that promise
nice
just
of you.
yet. Ray, you want to update us on the polls, the terrific polls that you put up today? Because you are working so hard on your last day of work here.
Yeah, absolutely. You love deeming things my last day. I will be back on Monday. I will be
Perfect.
here for
Last
you
day
guys.
of the week, I mean. You know what I meant.
I didn't. Some people don't. I got text the last time you said that, asking if I was
His
done at
mom
the
texted
station.
him and said, "Are you getting fired?"
Did you get fired?
Yeah. Anyways, so our 2 polls today. How do you see Game 3 playing out for the 76ers? 4 options there. Win by 10 plus, win by 1 to 10, lose by 1 to 10, lose by 10 plus. Right now, we are still holding strong with more people thinking they're winning by double digits than losing at all. 28% saying they will win by 10 plus. Options are at 25%. Win by 1 to 10 is at 47%. And then with the Birds and the NFL draft, which position would you prefer that the Eagles draft in the first round tonight? 68% of the people are going cornerback, 17% going offensive line, 9% edge rusher, and just 6% of people have other thoughts.
Interesting. All right, there we are. Busy, busy day we got going on today. Love it. I absolutely love this time of year. Today is great. 2 games and a draft going on tonight. Amy Fadul's here to talk about it with us until 2 o'clock when the best show ever with Tyrone, Ricky, and Jen will be coming up. But for now, the question is out there for you, and I need you to answer it. I need to see blank from blank tonight. We want you to answer that question. 610-632-0975. Middays, Bob Cooney, 97.5 The Fanatic. Back. So glad you're joining us on this busy Thursday. So much going on. Phillies starting about an hour and a half. Got that happening. We got Sixers Knicks tonight, 7:30 down at the Wells Fargo Center. You got the draft. Eagles have the number 22 pick as of right now. So a lot to talk about. We have Alaa Abdelnaby is going to be joining us at 12 o'clock. So we'll talk to Alaa, see where his confidence level is also, because he was awful confident with 45 seconds to go in the game.
He thought that game was in the bag.
He thought it was in the bag. It was not. And I got a text from a friend last night and said, how did you know I was having Alaa on? I don't know. But somebody, maybe he said, if you have Alaa on, you got to ask him, like, was he the jinx? The jinx with 45 seconds to go? Look, those things happen a lot. And if you're being honest with yourself, I'll bet an awful lot of you thought the same thing, that game was over, but it turned out not to be. I'll be down there tonight. We're going to do pregame show tonight. It's going to be me, D-Lon, and Bill Colarulo. We'll be in-house at the Wells Fargo Center from 6 to 7:30 to get you right up into the Sixers game. And, Aim, you know what one of the best things I love about going down to do the pregame show, or just being down there in general, is I get to meet up with our man Karate Mark all the time.
I love it. He's always there.
He's always there, and he's always here. Karate Mark, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, buddy?
10-9-8. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Roller coaster of emotions, I'll be honest with you. The Sixers team, last few years of playoffs, including the last two games, it's like that group of girls that befriends the one guy, and they bring him in, and they invite him to all the parties. They tell him all the secrets. They invite him to all the sleepovers and everything. But everybody else gets to finish, and you're just left there all by yourself. And you know what they did? They called me up this morning. They said, "Hey, Mark, we got a party down in South Philly tonight. You want to come?" And I'm all in. You know I'm all in. And I'm still where I'm at. Job tonight, Sixers. 7.5 minutes the other day. Just do 48 minutes tonight. Don't bring us to overtime, and let's just win the game. We're the superior team. I'm sweating bullets. It needs to be 7 o'clock tonight. I need to be there tonight. I'm sorry.
I was sweating bullets when you were telling that story, because I had no idea where you were going, Mark.
I liked it. We brought it home.
Good analogy, yes.
Yeah,
that was good.
Home, but we were driving
So you and your lovely wife will be down there tonight, I assume?
We're going to be there. We're going to be screaming our heads off. She's got the earplugs, going home with headaches tonight and sore throats, no doubt.
All right.
All right. We will see you down there, Mark. Much appreciated. I will finish you with this question. I need blank from blank tonight. Finish my sentence.
The exact same thing I said the other day. I need, of the 5 I brought up, I'm going to go with Kelly Oubre. Of the 5 I brought up the other day, I need defense on Jalen Brunson. Just do what you've been doing, and I need 18 from him. I need 18 from Oubre tonight, not 14. I need 18 from Oubre.
All right, Mark, can't wait to see it tonight. Appreciate it, buddy. We'll talk then. Why has it become, Aim, that, they're playing defense, you can't expect offense? Well, they'll give you something offensively, you can't expect much from them defensively. Why is that just a given now?
Because we rationalize everything.
Is that what it is, rationalization?
It's a rationalization. Because why else would Kelly Oubre, who had been playing some of the best basketball of his career, certainly of the season, in the 6 to 8 weeks leading up to this, why would he all of a sudden disappear? He doesn't seem to be a stage too big type of guy. He really relishes that kind of environment, right?
That's the makeup that I see from him, yeah. He just goes out and plays.
He doesn't care. So that's the explanation. So you look for a reason. Game 2, and then it's the only explanation there.
I was wondering if it was specialization. Like,
Maybe.
You're a three-point dribble, you can't take the ball to the hoop. Oh, you're a finisher around the basket, but you can't shoot from the outside,
I think this level of the players, I think that the specialization days are kind of done. I feel like everyone's pretty much a better all-around player. Obviously, people excel at certain things better than other. Buddy Hield's a better three-point shooter than he is at creating his own shot. Doesn't mean that he can't put the ball on the floor.
I wouldn't say bothers me. I find amusing.
Okay.
So it was noon, and I put watching them, and it happened every day. Not one kid took shots inside the three-point line.
Steph Curry. It's
That's
all
all it
three-pointers.
is. And
It's amazing.
I bet you if you do it now,
It's all jump.
and
I've seen it. I've seen it
exactly.
last year. It's all long range. I'm like, you know what's a better option? Going closer to the basket, unless you're not very good at layups, like a certain member of the Sixers.
Yeah, there's that. All right, the question that we're throwing out to you. I need blank from blank tonight when it comes to the 76ers. What do you need? What do you want? The question is on the table, and Chris in Plymouth Meeting is up on the board. What's up, Chris? How you doing today?
Good. How are you guys?
Great.
Good.
So, I mean, I'm just going to cut to the question you were asking about what you need blank from blank. I think it's rebounds from the whole team. We got out rebounding game one. I think it was like 50 to 20 or 52 to 28. They were just completely crushing us on the boards. It's embarrassing. And if you watch the game, you see someone shoot from even top of the key. The other four players are on the perimeter still. I don't understand it.
Well, it's funny. It's
Knicks got second chances, game one and game two, and that's how they were to win the game. If we were to give us another second chance, you got the best guy on the court, Joel Embiid, and he's just. I know he's hurt. You can tell he's running back on defense. But if he or Oubre would get down to the in the board and just try to get a second shot, try to get a second chance to get another shot up. You go up by 4 points, you back on defense, you get another rebound, and then you keep running the game like that. It's weird watching how everyone just hangs out around the perimeter, and you're just hoping the guy who's shooting at the top of the key or closer than that makes the shot, and everyone's running back on defense. No one's crashing the boards. I grew up playing basketball, and all my coaches, everybody crashed the boards. Now, not everybody in the NBA is going to crash the board. If you got one or two guys to crash the boards, you got a second chance of possibly getting if the guy does miss a shot, you get another shot at one. One, you could run the clock down if you're winning because now the shot clock is reset. And then secondly, you get another chance of scoring another shot. I mean, it's not that hard.
All right, Chris, thanks so much.
Game one, yes. Game two, rebounding was not.
Rebounding was good game two until the final 27 seconds.
Exactly.
As we all
It was
talked about,
time.
everything changed. The universe started spinning the opposite way,
So
all
bad.
those things. But I don't think it's as easy as Chris makes it sound because New York is a very physical team. New York is a team that is very conscious of rebounds on both sides of the ball, whether they're offensive rebounding or whether they're defensive rebounding. That is something that Tom Thibodeau has preached to them endlessly, and it's something that they really concentrate on. I understand what he's saying, though. Sure, everybody with it. But this Sixers team, I don't really recall being a good offensive rebounding team this year. We can look at
Not
stats.
particularly.
But, yeah, and as far as everybody being out on the perimeter, Chris is so right. I mean, this was a couple years ago when I was watching NBA playoff games in particular, and I'm like, my God, it's amazing how many sets are run by so many teams where there is not anyone close to being inside the lane. The Boston Celtics never have anybody in the lane.
It's completely empty, and
Yep.
it looks so foreign if you grew up watching the NBA. It's such
Doesn't
a
it?
different game. You're thinking, why isn't anybody in there? Well, obviously, offensively, you're waiting for someone to roll in, maybe cut through, but that's not every day. Every play is set up. All right, we're going to start out here, and maybe we'll roll somebody in. Maybe someone will make a cut. But no, everybody's on we were just talking about it.
Yeah.
Everybody's out there waiting.
Everybody's on the outside.
And the reason defensively you have to be out there, one, you need some people out there because they are taking so many threes and longer range shots. Those are the rebounds that come off
Right.
stronger, right? They're coming
Right.
off further away from the basket. So
Yep.
you do have to position yourself somewhat. But it is strange on a defensive set to not see anybody really kind of
It's
patrolling
crazy.
the paint, so to speak.
When you watch Celtic games, and sorry, the Celtics went down to the Miami Heat last night as Miami drains 23 three-pointers.
Amazing.
But when you watch the Boston Celtics run their offense and they're running their half-court set, which is really nice, you rarely see anyone near the lane. I mean, they are spread as spread can be, and they're pretty successful at it. Noah and Philly, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Noah?
Hey, what's going on? What's the question?
Tonight, I need blank from blank. You need to fill in the two blanks.
I need a pulse from Tobias Harris.
All right.
That's
Well,
pretty
yeah,
good.
Check.
No, I like
it.
that one.
That's a good one.
What now? Get a little specific.
Yeah,
Noah, what do you need from him?
I need to show that he's alive and he's on the court, frankly. I mean, the guy has been
Offensively?
Offensively, I mean, definitely offensively. I mean, he's been non-existent the last 4 years, frankly. But, this is the time we really need a guy like him to step up. Embiid's hurt. He's doing the best he can. Maxi's great. We know that. But where's the third guy? The third guy is Tobias Harris. And I feel like we kind of forget about him sometimes, and rightfully so. But he needs to start really showing his 6'9", 6'10" frame, go into the rim, draw some contact. You know, he's got to show a pulse. He's got to be out there, and he's got to be the third wheel if we have any shot to beat the Knicks, who, by the way, you know, the last caller or two said we're the superior team. I hate to break it to you, we're not the superior team. Okay? If Embiid was healthy, maybe. But he's not healthy. And I feel like we need to be a little more realistic about this series. I mean, we have to win 4 out of 5. That's a challenge.
That is a mighty challenge, and thanks, Noah. Appreciate it, especially being as you've played New York 6 times this year, and you've lost 5 of those 6.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's in the back of the head of things. But, you know, as much as Noah, you kind of cringe when he says we're not the better team, there is an awful lot of positivity going around today. A lot of it. And we're going to check in with Alaa Abdelnaby at noon. He's going to let us know what his thoughts are on tonight, and it's still on the table for you. Tonight, I need blank from blank. Noah's in the lead. That was a pretty good one. I need a pulse from Tobias Harris. Sarcastic, but a pretty good one there. When we get back, we'll answer that question. We'll talk a little bit more draft. 1-second pick tonight. That's at 7:30. Should they stay there, you could be all right. You could watch the whole Eagles or Sixers game. You could maybe even go home if you're down there and be settled in time for the Eagles to make their pick.
Nightcap.
Yeah, so you should be okay. All right, we get back. We'll discuss all that and more. Amy Thibodeau's with us all day long. Bob Cooney, Midday, 97.5 The Fanatic. of positivity going around today, even though your 76ers are 0-2 going into Game 3 tonight. But there's a lot of positivity. And it's funny, some of the great people on our YouTube board, Aim,
Yeah.
when I came in and I said, it's weird. And I said that I talked to somebody, and I said how weird it was that my friend said, I don't know how, but it seems like the Sixers in this series. And yeah, I agree. People are going, momentum, what the hell are you talking about? I don't know. That's what I said. It's weird.
That's why we feel positive.
I guess so. I mean,
don't
you
feel
got
bad.
a game. I guess you could say because you got a game taken away from you.
Yeah,
is how
maybe that's
people
it.
feel.
You know that you can win at the Garden, so people's minds do go forward. I know yours does not because you're an in-the-moment guy.
I'm dumb.
But some people go forward and think, all right, we love our home court advantage. We take that. You feel confident going forward to be able to win a game there if you need to.
Right.
Or when you need to, I should say, because you will.
Yeah, you will. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Alaa Abdelnaby will be joining us at noon today to talk about this Sixers game tonight. But to you, the listeners out there right now, the question's going to remain on the board to the end of the show. Tonight, I need blank from blank. What are your answers? Slick Rick has one. Slick Rick, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's a simple equation. I agree with everything that everyone has said. However, the Sixers have to have a higher level of intensity for all 48 minutes, and they have to incorporate that level of intensity. They have to outmatch the intensity of the Knicks and fundamentals and textbooks, like simple things like boxing out.
Rick, I gotta ask you. Your phone's really wonky. If you can, give us a call back, and I'll get you on because if for some reason you sound like, what's that?
Like overmodulate? I don't know.
Something. I don't know, but it sounded like I was talking
I like the
to
intensity.
both
of his answer and his actual answer.
Yeah, in his voice and in his thoughts. I liked his intensity.
I liked it.
Yeah,
It's good intensity.
So he needs intensity for all 48 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a great answer. You know why? Because you had it for 47 and a half minutes the other night. Because, to me, that's not intense. When that shot went up the other night and there's only seconds to go in the game, have to look around and full body block somebody if you have to not let Hartenstein get that rebound.
Yeah, box out everything.
That can't happen.
No.
Like, that cannot happen. And the fact that you did such a great job of boxing out all night long and held it until the possession was had.
The rebounds were tied. 44-44. They were tied 10 offensive rebounds going into that last 30 seconds. You did everything, all the adjustments. You got crushed on the boards game 1. Game 2, rebounds, not a problem.
No.
It was not a problem at all.
Nope.
You made those adjustments, and you lost it for 30 seconds, and that was the game.
And you could see it early on. I think it was Kelly Oubre one time grabbed the rebound where he still had a hand on the chest of somebody and still grabbed the rebound with his right arm. Hold your box outs until possession is gained. I'm positive that was a talking point of Nick Nurse the other night. All right, Slick, actually, you can finish your thought here. Rick.
Hopefully there's a better connection.
Okay, go ahead. Intensity.
What I was trying, a higher level of intensity for all 48 minutes and execute with fundamentals and textbook. Like I was saying, it's just simple. What you learn from, like, Pee Wee basketball. Fundamentals. The shot goes up, you box out. So you can't have, like, any mental lapses at all. Just simple. Outmatch the intensity of the Knicks and fundamentals because they are the better team. They are overachieving, the Knicks are, and we're underachieving. That's why it's 0-2. However, this is game 3. We're home, and we're winning 4 in a row. So, like, anybody that's calling and doubting, no disrespect to the show or to the people, but don't call. If you don't believe that the Sixers are going to win the next 4, don't call, because that's how it's going down. They're winning the next 4, because like JoJo said, we're the better team. We have underachieved. They've way overachieved. They don't even have their second leading scorer, and they up 2-0. That's embarrassing.
All right, Rick, thank you so much, buddy. Really appreciate it. I don't know if I can go there.
I'm telling you, that's why people are so positive because a lot of people are like what Rick is saying. 4 in a row.
And first of all, you can call. I don't care.
Call.
Yeah, please call. I don't care if you don't believe the Sixers are going to win 4 in a row. You can believe whatever you want, but we love to talk to you anyway.
I like his intensity, though.
Love Rick. I hope that does happen. Hope it does go 4 in a row from here on out. But I don't know. The intensity factor, I'm glad that Rick brought that up because
you did.
For 47 and a half minutes. You really did. And, like, it doesn't take a special person to be like, okay, there's a shot up. We can't forget what we've been doing now. it just takes to be aware of your surroundings and how everybody lost their surroundings.
That
on
30
that
seconds
shot.
was because it was everything that was happening. That whole series of plays and miscues by both Sixers, Knicks, refs, everything. That was the weirdest 30 seconds of basketball I've ever. 27. It was less than that. It was really 20 seconds when you look at it. Because really where it was like 20-something seconds. But, yeah, I think everything just kind of caught up with him at that moment. But, yeah, you can't lose your head.
No, you cannot at all. You can't lose who you're supposed to box out. You cannot give up that offensive rebound. But it happened, and here's where we are. Chris in Northeast Philly, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Chris?
Hey,
Curtis.
what's going on, guys?
Oh, Curtis. I'm sorry. Curtis, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Great.
So I called in on Monday. Amy, the MD, is still on ice.
All right, I love it.
All the way.
Thank you, my friend.
But I'm gonna get right to the point. I need the bench to reinvigorate this team at all costs. Something was stolen from us. We were the laughing stock of the NBA for about a good 36 hours via Twitter. Different fan bases giving their two cents. Oh, well, all you had to do was rebound. All you had to do was this. All you had to do was that. I need anyone from the bench and bat signal, look yourself in the mirror, eat an extra bowl of Wheaties. You do what you got to do to go on the floor tonight and make a statement. This bench, for lack of a better term, needs to get knee deep in New York. Period.
Are you confident, Curtis?
I'm very confident.
Okay.
I said it after we lost that we would win the next two at home, and if we win these next two, we are winning the series. Is it a tougher matchup than I anticipated? Yes. New York is a very tough, scrawny team, but I personally feel like overall we are the better team. Are we playing like it? No. New York is playing like they want it more, and I think that tide starts to change tonight because of the way we lost that second game.
All right, Curtis, really appreciate the call. Not a whole lot to disagree with. One thing somebody on our YouTube channel said, which is pretty good. Yeah, if only the better team won all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
It doesn't play out like that.
No.
As much as you always want sports to go down the line of the way it's supposed to go. That's the greatest thing about sports. You don't know.
Yep.
You just never know. Maybe the Sixers do come back. Maybe they are the better team. I don't know, but I'm sure as hell anxious to see it play out. And it all starts tonight, 7:30, Game 3, Sixers-Knicks at the Wells Fargo Center. Amy was nice enough to extend the invitation because I'm going down there tonight to do pregame. I cannot sit up in the auxiliary press all the way up. I can't watch games from there. I just can't. So Amy said, well, if you want to, why don't you just come in studio and watch with us? So I might be doing that with you.
Come on through.
Yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun. So, all right, when we get back, Alaa Abdelnaby will be joining us at the noon hour to talk about what he saw the other night, maybe to talk a little bit about what he thought he saw the other night, and we'll get all your Sixer reaction after that. Don't forget, the question to put out there to you right now that we have. Tonight, I need blank from blank. Answer that question. A whole lot more coming up. Amy Fadul with us all day. This is Midday. Bob Cooney, 97.5 The Fanatic. The ray of sunshine with us today is Amy Fadul, hangs with us until 2 o'clock. Amy,
Yes.
you have kids. The things
Yes.
that they color with in their coloring book are called?
Crayons?
See, you say it right.
How? I'm sorry. When you say
There's
crowns?
people in this city that say crown.
Oh, I know. I used to
Because
live
the
in
other
South
day,
Philly.
our key word was crown, and the person didn't spell it. No big deal. There's crown. But I was thinking, oh my God, I hope there's not a lot of people that are texting in C-R-A-Y-O-N. Because Jamie Lynch, it's crown. It's a crown.
Yeah. There's a lot of people say crown.
Yeah, no, it's a crayon. You know who says it correctly because he is just an astute man on the Comcast Business Hotline? Alaa Abdelnaby. Alaa, how are you today, buddy?
I am great, especially since I get to be with two of my favorite people at the same time. Bob, Amy, how are you guys doing?
It's good to hear from you, Alaa.
Doing great.
Always
Alaa,
good to hear from you.
the thing you color in a coloring book. What do you use to color in a coloring book?
Crayon.
Crayon. See, he's got it.
Smart man.
He is a smart man. And that's why we have him on here. His smartness knows no boundaries. So we will go to the Philadelphia 76ers, New York Knicks. I'll just start you out easy, Alaa. What is your confidence level tonight for the 76ers going against the Knicks in Game 3?
It's more confident than it was perhaps at the end of the game when I heard Joel's post-game press conference. He seemed upset. He seemed angry. He seemed like he was done wrong, and I think those feelings are great fuel to hopefully motivate them. You should be already motivated, obviously, but I think that they've got some added motivation, and I'd be shocked if the Sixers didn't ride that wave into Game 3 tonight.
Yeah, when you're looking at it, and we're going to break down obviously everything, and I know you guys do it as well with Kate Scott before the broadcast, but there's a lot of things that you need. And one thing that Bob and I have been talking about is the defensive pressure that they've put on Jalen Brunson has been excellent, right? They've limited him. He's really had to work for the points he gets. He's a guy that can go off 40 easily, and they're keeping him to very, very low 8 to 26, 8 for 29 type of numbers. Are they paying the cost for that defense on offense, and can you get more from Kelly Oubre and maybe then later Tobias Harris, who's also been tasked with guarding Jalen Brunson late? Can you get more from them if they continue that defense?
Well, I think we're going to have to, right? And I think the idea is you can get more off of your defense. I think what you haven't seen the last two games or the first two games of this series is a lot of points off of their defense, whether they're steals. I think you saw it in bunches. You see it in spurts at times, but I don't think you've seen it for a consistent 48 minutes. So that would be a place to start where you get some deflections, get some runouts. We haven't seen Tobias in transition that much. Kelly thrives in transition. But the Knicks don't run a lot, so the game has been slowed down. The Sixers have to pick the pace up, in particular at home.
Alaa, I've labeled this series so far as a coulda, shoulda. Coulda won Game 1, should have won Game 2. That being said, going into Game 3, does there need to be some changes made by the Sixers at all? Or do you run with what you've done because coulda, shoulda is not bad when you've played 2 games on the road?
I think the thing you have to continue to do is rebound. That is going to be, if you rebound, it will take away a big part of the Knicks' offense. They get a lot of their points off of the glass. And if you can eliminate that, I'm not convinced that they're a very good half-court shooting team with the exception of Brunson, and Brunson has struggled. I don't think you're going to see Hart continue to shoot the way he has. Let's hope not anyway, because he's been lights out. So I think the law of averages starts to kick in a little bit, and I'll be surprised if they continue to shoot that way. But you've got to rebound the basketball and take away a big part of their offense.
You mentioned Joel Embiid, and obviously you and I have been around him for a number of years now, his whole career. How fired up was he? I mean, he's not a big fiery guy, right? But that was about as fired up. How much do you think the rest of the team looks to something like what he said and like what Tyrese Maxey has said, saying that that's the voice, like that's what we're listening to. That's what's going to kind of fuel us at this juncture at Game 3.
Oh, I think it's huge. And I think, he's their leader, their emotional leader, their spiritual leader, their leader out on the floor, too. I know he defers to Tyrese Maxey, but let's face it, everybody sees how Joel's going and can assume that's how the Sixers will go also. So, yeah, no, it's huge, and I think he's got to play a big part. And the attitude, I think, has to be It just has to be there from the get-go, and it has to be there for the rest of this series. You have to match the attitude and energy and the hard work that the Knicks bring on every possession. I thought they did a really good job of that for about 47 minutes and 30 seconds. But when you look at that Hartenstein rebound at the end of the game, that's one that you absolutely have to come up with. And the Sixers didn't, and the Knicks were able to capitalize.
Alaa, were you surprised that there was no timeout taken by Kyle Lowry in that situation? Nick Nurse described it after the game. The thought was, and this is Nick Nurse, I'm paraphrasing, the thought is to get it in quick, if not get a timeout. I didn't see an opportunity, really, to get it in quick. Why do you think Kyle didn't call a timeout there?
You know what? I'm not sure. And I don't want to harp on Kyle because if you look at that play, there's about 5 things that happened in sequence that I just can't imagine happening again, that went all towards the Knicks' way. Sure, the Sixers, I think, did their part in that as well. But a lot of things went in a crazy way, and it was hectic. And here's the other thing, too, is I saw Nick Nurse trying to call timeout, but the referee, he's got a million other things going on, and the game is hectic at that point. I could understand if he doesn't see him. And Nick says, that he made eye contact with him and the ref saw him. Again, it's just like expecting the ref to blow the whistle when Josh Hart bumps into Tyrese or when Tyrese gets grabbed by Jalen. That takes a rare official when 19,000 people are frothing at the mouth to blow that whistle and call everything off. That's a rare thing in an official. I haven't seen many who could, so I'm not surprised by the way it was handled. There was a lot going on there down the stretch.
Yeah, there's like 18 different things happening all at the same time.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it was what Nick Nurse called it a melee. It really was.
Yeah, it was.
It was a melee. But you mentioned the 19,000 frothing, and I got to ask about the atmosphere tonight. We all know there'll be a couple of Knicks fans that somehow sneak their way in. They'll buy the tickets and whatever else. But I expect this crowd to be ready. It's a confident bunch overall, I feel like, despite their team being down 0-2. Just what do you expect from the atmosphere tonight?
Oh, I think it's going to be electric. I think Philly is going to show up and I think give us the home court advantage, the advantage that we've had against other teams for a number of years now. I expect there to be sweat coming off of the sides of that building tonight because it should be heated. It should be intense. And I think at times the crowd is going to play a role because, again, for 48 minutes, they're going to be lulls. The Knicks are going to make a run at some point. The crowd there to support you as much as possible.
We're talking to Alaa Abdelnaby on the Comcast Business Hotline. Yesterday it was given out that D'Anthony Melton practiced, and he came out and said he's ready. He's ready to go. We've heard Nick Nurse talk before of, I don't know if I can get a guy in playing shape during a playoff. Do you think he is used tonight? And if so, how do you think Nick Nurse would use D'Anthony Melton?
It'll have to be on the defensive end. I don't think you'll expect that much of him offensively, unless he gets points off of his defense like we talked about a little earlier. But we got to remember, D'Anthony was a starter when this Sixer team was full and healthy. So he is a big part that the Sixers missed, in particular on the defensive end of the floor. So I think that's when we'll see him most, and then you'll let him ease into the other aspects of his game. But if you do use him, I wouldn't be surprised if it's on that end of the floor.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Do you spell Kyle Lowry with him a little bit, and so Kyle comes out and save him a smidge, and then he gets a little bit of defensive presence on Jalen Brunson that would free up, either Tobias Harris or Kelly Oubre, who's ever out there. Is that how you foresee that going?
Yeah, I think the good thing about having more players is it gives you more options. Yeah. So it gives you a different. You can plug him in a bunch of different ways. If you'd like to go small, if you want to give somebody a sub, if you want to go with small all around the perimeter and maybe just play with Joel Embiid, he's certainly a guy you could add into the mix. He gives you options, and I think that's the best thing that another body does.
I'll finish you with this. It's a question that we're putting out to our listeners today. For the Sixers tonight, answer this for me. I need blank from blank. What do you need tonight to fill in that question right there?
I need 15 to 17 from Tobias Harris.
All Right.
Okay.
I'll take
Tobias
that.
has been in a lot of our answers. One of the better answers we had was, I need a pulse from Tobias Harris tonight. Hopefully we get a little more than just that. Alaa, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Alaa.
I will stop by and say hi to you and
Yeah.
Kate tonight.
See you tonight.
Make sure we listen to Alaa. Great job that you do. And I will talk to you later on.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
You're the
Bye, Alaa.
best. Thanks, Alaa. Good man. Okay, there you have it. There's
He's
positivity
confident, yeah.
galore.
And Ala's not a guy that's going to sit here and be like, oh, they're just going to win because he's the Sixers broadcaster. He will call it like it is. And I like that he had that air of confidence. He thought, like, yeah, listen, I feel pretty good about this one.
I like what he had to say about time. Look, emotions are there with everyone.
Right.
A coach in the middle of a game, a player in the middle of a game, a referee, a TV announcer. I love that Alaa came on and said, man, you're a referee in that spot, and you got 19,000 people screaming and hollering. I didn't expect them to call anything. So it's cool that you can sit back and a guy that's been through it all can have that kind of a take on it. But so he needs 15 to 17 from Tobias Harris.
If everything is the same across the board, Jalen Brunson defense, the same. Tyrese Maxey, 30+. Joel Embiid, 30+. And if you get 15 to 17 from Tobias, seems like that's an absolute surefire win. Like that, it just seems like it's an unrealistic way. Because I did some quick counting. So in the first two games,
look at you.
I know, I got the calculator out. Joel Embiid, 63 total points in the first two games. Tyrese Maxey, 68 total points first two games. The rest of the team, 74.
Yeah, that's not good.
The entire team in 2 games, 74. You can't. That's not a recipe for a win.
No, it
So
certainly is not. Can't be a two-man game tonight. Although it almost got you winning game too. So you just don't know. Joe in Gilbertsville. Joe, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's going on?
Hey, good afternoon. I'm not nearly as optimistic as everybody else. I need better ball movement and better spacing from the entire team. And that's the difference in playoff basketball, guys. You watch the Suns, they do one-on-one ISOs, they're struggling. The Celtics last night, one-on-one ISOs, struggling. Miami shares the ball, winning. Nuggets share the ball, winning. Knicks share the ball, they win. You have too much pounding the ball from Maxey, Lowry, and Embiid. They don't swing the ball enough. They don't get defenses moving side to side to create more spacing for their shooters to get shots. So when you're constantly playing one-on-one ISO and playing a two-man game and you don't get the other motion that you need for players, they're never going to get into a rhythm offensively. And it's year after year after year after year, it's the same common denominator. You're never getting your role players in a rhythm in an offense. It's embarrassing to watch the Knicks with their role players constantly swinging the ball, and they're trusting their role players by moving the ball quickly to get them open looks, and they shoot their ball. Miami Heat should have won last night, but they played better team ball because they're constantly moving the ball, getting open shots, and hitting their shots.
Yeah.
If the Sixers don't have ball movement, you're never going to have your role players stepping up consistently because it's just too much pounding the ball with Embiid, too much pounding. They get down the shot clock, the other players get stagnant, and there's no rhythm to their offense. So until the Sixers learn to trust their teammates and get the ball moving, and when the Sixers run, they do that because there's more spacing when you run to get the open spots. Our offense does not work in the playoffs. It's never worked.
Joe, thanks so much. Great insight by you. I absolutely love it. It seems like Joe might sit with me sometimes watching the Sixers game because when they are on offense, a lot of time you'll just see me go move, move,
make some cuts.
Weak side movement. I love weak side movement in basketball. I would like to see some weak side picking sometimes. Set guys up. Get your Buddy Hields open and different things like that.
You have to call that because the thing he brought up, the Knicks are doing it with their role players, and the Heat are doing it with they have to do it right now. Those role players are not role players right now because they're missing large chunks of their team, right? The second leading scorer, Julius, go down to the Heat. No Jimmy Butler last night. No Terry Rozier. These are large chunks of their offense. So they're forced into it. So you have to your point, and to his point too, you have to then call plays for it because the Sixers aren't forced into it. They have their full complement. Maxey's out there. Joel Embiid's out there. You're not forced to use different guys. You have to use them because you want your offense to run better. But it's not like the Miami Heat where you have to have guys step up because there's literally no one else.
And I think Alaa brought up a great point: getting offense off of your defense.
Yeah.
And that's from rebounding. It doesn't mean it has to be steals and turnovers and all that. It's rebounding and getting out and going.
Yeah.
I like. We talked about this before. I like when Embiid or somebody else gets a rebound, throwing the ball ahead.
Just go.
I love
Gotta
it.
push that. Because the Knicks don't want to run.
No, they don't. They want a half-court offense, and that's how you're going to get those secondary guys going easier by getting out and running. And, look who's wide open standing there. Or look who's cutting to the basket and can get an easy layup. That's Kelly Oubre. That's Tobias Harris. Here you go. I would like to see some more movement from the Sixers tonight. Look, if it's going to become a half-court game and you have two guys that are going to do most of your scoring, I'll take Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey over pretty much anybody else. So you might have an advantage there. But, yeah, I think getting out and running is a big part of it tonight, Eamon, and a lot of that comes with rebounding.
And they have to – I just think for them, that's what they're more comfortable with. And then maybe if they can get out and run, you will see a little bit more movement and a little bit more setup. Because those guys you mentioned, a Buddy Hield, a Nico Batum, even a Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre loves to push, and that's why we keep going back to his aggressive style. He loves to push the ball up the court. He loves to drive the lane. He's such a fantastic athlete that he is able to maneuver through the defenses. He hasn't been able to do that, whether it's been scheme on the Knicks' part, fatigue from defensive pressure. I'm not really sure, but you have not seen the Kelly Oubre that was playing so well in the last month and a half of the season has not translated. And I think when we talked about it, what's the reason? And you said specialization. It could be a reason. I thought maybe rationalization. You're trying to rationalize his good defense for the lack of offense. He's the one that I would need. If my secondary, if my blank, it would be I need 15 points from Kelly Oubre.
Okay. So
that would be my second one.
Yeah. Alaa went 15-17. Tobias, 15 Oubre. There's the 30 that you put 28-30 between them.
I had 28.
Early.
Yeah, I wrote it down. 28 between those two. 25 on the bench, and then 65 for Tyrese and Joel.
You're doing a lot of writing today.
A lot of math.
A lot of math.
Lots of notes.
A lot of numbers here today.
Yeah, she's all over the place. I love it. All right, Ray, we did have some polls that we put up today. We're going to get into, I want to hit Amy with some of Eagles talk about specifically what might happen tonight. So, yeah, we'll drop some names, some positions, see what's going on there. But, Ray, our polls today?
Yeah, our poll's running right now at 975 middays. First one, how do you see Game 3 playing out for the 76ers? 90% of the people see them winning by single digits in that 1 to 10 range. 28% have a double-digit victory, and now just 16 a single-digit loss, 7% double-digit loss. 23% of people think they're losing. 77% of people think that they're coming home with a victory tonight. And again, the big majority there, or almost majority here, 49% being the win by single digits.
Okay.
And then for which position would you prefer that the Eagles draft in the first round tonight?
Now, listen to the questioning. Which would you prefer? Not what do you think they'll do. Which would you prefer?
This is playing right to the preference of the fan base.
Yeah, absolutely.
This one feels very, very much on the nose. 68% of people saying cornerback. I don't even feel like reading the – it's just overwhelming. It's almost like double what everything else is. Yeah. So people want a corner.
What did come in second?
Offensive line.
Okay.
There you go. That's
and then edge rusher, and then the creative ideas of other are just not there today.
I don't think they're going corner first tonight.
No, that's why you exactly. That's why you don't look at it.
Oh, yeah.
What would you
I don't prefer corner.
No, we know what you prefer.
Well, I say that jokingly and all that. I don't know. Edge rusher, I'd be fine. Offensive lineman, I'd be fine. I think they have a lot of corners that they're still looking at. That like
out there?
Keely Ringo, could he be really good? And he's the guy you're plugging in and going.
Right.
Now you have the other dude, Rodgers, that just got reinstated and was playing really well before he got suspended. You're going to have to replace Slay and or Bradbury, obviously. But I read them all the other day. Remember, they have a lot of corners there.
Well, a lot of quantity.
Preference, yes, yeah. Preference, a lockdown corner is pretty cool. Yeah.
Think about it.
Come on.
Think
you
about
know you
it.
want the
Come
corner.
on our side.
You know you want the corner.
I kind of like the big fatties, though.
I know you do.
I don't know. I like a guy that can get out there and just roll people. And you said somebody was offended that I said big fatties. If I'm offending anybody, I apologize.
It was an offensive lineman. It's specific
when we were growing
to
up,
offensive linemen.
Yeah.
And you said John Runyon was fine with it.
Yeah, I think he laughed about it. When we were growing up, and it's not that's how we describe the offensive line. Like, oh, good, you got the big fat. They got a lot of big fatties. It was just like that's how we talked, and it wasn't
offensive line
mean.
only, specific.
Yeah,
everyone.
I was a skinny little guard. I mean, what are you going to do? I'd rather be a big fatty than the skinny little guard.
Yes, that's my preference for an offensive lineman. I'd rather he have a 3 in front of his number for
exactly.
poundage.
Yeah, as opposed to 1, 4, 5. Something like that. But okay, when we get back, the question still is out there to you. I need blank from blank tonight when it comes to the Philadelphia 76ers. We've got a lot of great answers so far today. Amy Fadul's sticking with us until closing time. That's 2 o'clock before the best show ever. Ray, what are you laughing about?
Let's go look at the YouTube chat. Send a break.
All right, we're going to be back after. Now he's got me all flustered. Midday, Bob Cooney, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Game 3 tonight. I'm Ray Dutton. This update is brought to you by tomorrow being National Softball Day, and there's no better
breaking news. Now, more with Bob Cooney, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Oh, the spirited discussions that happened in these studios when we were off air. As Tyrone came in and we were all talking. It's awesome. Love it. Don't forget Tyrone, Ricky, and Jen. Is Ricky with them today?
I think it's Tom.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's Tom Alvord.
For Jen, or is he sitting in for Ricky?
He's sitting for Ricky. Jen is here.
Okay.
I just got to see Jen.
We can see Ricky. Ricky is on television at this very moment.
He is.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you want to turn your TV down, listen to us, and watch them, you're more than capable of doing that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
You don't need to hear Ricky. You can just look at Ricky.
Oh, God. And he's a very handsome man.
There you go.
Yeah,
We're
there
talking
he
about
is.
Bryce Harper back.
Yeah. So we're talking with Amy Fadul today, all about Sixers Knicks tonight. It is the talk. Confidence seems to be pretty good here. We talked to Alaa Abdelnaby, and he kind of described everything that played out. Yeah, I'm not going to go off of the shoulda coulda series so far.
Yeah,
they could have won game one. They should have won game two.
There you go. That's why you feel good.
That is why I feel good. You know what else? I felt good in the 11 o'clock hour, Aim.
It was an amazing hour.
It was an amazing hour because it was brought to you by Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. You know what? I still feel good this hour, too.
The 12 o'clock hour is also amazing.
It is because it's brought to you by Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Get 0% financing for 72 months and a $500 rebate when you purchase a complete heating and cooling system from Service First. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. There we go, Ray. That makes Ray happy.
Great job, Bob.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. He stole my paper. See, now, I've gotten this reputation of kind of being a little helter-skelter here. I lose papers every once in a while. Now I figured it out. Ray either steals them or doesn't give them to me and then blames me for not having them.
You did write the Phillies starting pitching kind of numbers on the back of another important piece of paper, did you not?
Yeah, timesheet thing. But, what do you like?
What do you expendable.
It's fine. Yeah, somebody comes in, you goes, yeah, don't forget you got to hand in your timesheet. And I said, yeah, I apologize. You're going to have the Phillies starting
But you did great math on that because it was, what, a .75 ERA?
It's awesome. .754 ERA.
I imagine that's going to continue tonight with Wheels, or today with Wheels.
Should I put it on my timesheet that the time it took me to do that, too? Maybe I should add that in also.
Yeah, I mean, it's work time.
I might just have to. Okay, the question we have out there for you today, I need blank from blank tonight for the 76ers. Need you to fill that in for us. We've had some great answers so far. Frank on the cell. He's got something to say about tonight's game. What's going on, Frank?
Hi, hey, how are you? I'm calling to your show, Bob, and great talking to you, Amy.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, long time fan since the 70s, Doc, and back in the day, and this is a different team. It's hard to read. I mean, 0-2 is 0-2, and the Knicks are playing with you. I guess you say house money, right? I mean, they don't have any reason to really go to the finals or anything like that. But I mean, the Sixers definitely got out hustled, and I don't.
Are you getting arrested, Frank?
Yeah, please pull over.
Nah, I'm in AC right now. There's always stuff flying around.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's not for me. Anyway, so. Yeah, Joel's always coming into the playoffs hobbling. It's a shame. He probably is the most talented big man ever. Tyrese is playing. He did step up. He did earn that award that he just got for the most improved player. But they don't have that guy off the bench that they've had like in the past, like a Bellinelli or all the snipers they had off the bench. They don't have that this year. I mean, Maxi's that guy, and he's a starter.
Right.
So I said they missed George Niang before the season, and on Facebook people are like laughing. No, Niang's the kind of guy that could have gave you 9 points in 2 minutes. They don't have that. So when the first team, isn't kind of doing their thing, they don't have anyone coming off the bench to really step up and throw you points. And the Knicks are just going to come out tonight, I believe, and they're going to play tough. I mean, it's a New York Knicks team, and that's what they do. So unless the Sixers beat them to, or match that, they have to at least match it. I don't see how they're going to beat them. Beat their energy for the rest of the series. And think about this: what are they 1-5 against the Knicks this year?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I mean, Frank. Thanks so much for the call. We got to get moving on here, but there is that George Niang. I love him to death. Great guy. Regular season, sure, plug him in there. I screamed at the television last year, screamed down at the Wells Fargo Center last year, get him off the floor. Frank says he could get you 9 points off the bench. He'll give you up 30 points in that same amount of time. He can't play defense. That's not a game that bodes well.
Didn't do it in the Jazz playoffs the year before he came to the Sixers either. It's a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, it is. There is two ends of the floor that you have to play. our man Mike from Delran on the line. Mike, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Good,
you
Mike.
had one of the best lines I've ever heard on a radio show. I don't know. I think it was yesterday. You were talking about somebody this morning.
They would have it if you put an SH in the front of it.
Yeah, there was an it factor that they were talking about, Mike. Goes, yeah, they have the it factor if you put an SH in front of it.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that was pretty
positive.
That was wrong.
Yeah, that was wrong of you, but it was a good line.
I don't know if anybody said this or not, but I need leadership from Embiid tonight.
Okay. Can you quantify that? Like what?
Yeah. You go win the series, and he starts by tonight. He sounded pretty darn confident going down the other night. That's not really a place where I would have stuck my neck out as much as he did. They got to go prove it. If they're the better team, he's got. He can't have that face that my 3-year-old makes when I tell her she can't have a candy bar. Right? He's got to go out there and be dominant and make sure he makes everyone around him better. I know he's the best player in the league. It's his fault, but he needs the leadership tonight. I need that more than 34, whatever it is. He needs to bring everybody up around him. Because if not, and we go down 3-0, it's a wrap. Go Birds!
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Go Birds. I was going to ask Mike who he's going to take tonight in the draft, but we didn't get a chance to go there. Well, I want to talk to you about the draft in the next segment and specifics. So get your pen and paper out and you know all the things that you do there. But leadership from Embiid. I hear what Mike's asking for, but I don't think you're going to.
I need quantify. Like in what way?
Exactly, because
have I not seen it? I feel like I've seen it.
I mean, he dove after a ball the other night and kept it in bounds. Like to me, that's cool leadership.
Well, if that's I need less of that kind of leadership.
I don't know.
I don't want any diving right now.
He scores you 34 points. To me, like
rebounding leadership. I'll take that.
He had 10 in the first half.
I mean, when you look at what he said after the game,
that's good leadership.
Yeah, I mean,
that's leadership.
Everyone right now, if they lose this series and you want from it, guess who's going to be the one that's looked at? Like whether it be locally or nationally. And they go down 2-0 and Embiid says that. You know, it's like the Michael Jordan, The Last Dance. It takes a certain type of person to talk smack when you're either tied or losing. Yeah. He's down 2-0 and he's saying they're the better team. They're going to go win the series. Then you heard Maxey echo that. If that's the message that's in the locker room right now, he's doing everything he can to lead this team down 2-0. Like, I think obviously we'll see how he takes it out on the floor today, but as a guy that rides the crowd the way he does, getting back at home, I can't imagine there's going to be a lull in energy of him coming out in that first quarter.
So he had a meltdown again yesterday, similar to the one that you saw
about
Will
Embiid.
No,
it was Tibbs. I mean,
about Tom Thibodeau?
Yeah, I mean, Aim, it was as good as, if not better than the meltdown he had when you were here with us on Tuesday.
Yes, that was pretty impressive.
I mean,
just a miserable guy. He's a miserable guy.
Yeah.
His face was red. I mean, I as soon as he got done, I said, I am so proud of you. Like he was, I wanted to go in there and hug him if time would have prevailed, but it didn't allow us to. But play the Tom Thibodeau thing again, because what I think of this is, you talk about bulletin board material, what Embiid said, what Maxey said, this isn't really bulletin board, but it's kind of like if I heard it as a player, God, do I want to beat that guy. Yeah. Here he is, Tom Thibodeau.
No, I'm more concerned with the 46-minute report. No, and that's and I mean that. I knew they couldn't call a foul there. I'm watching the way Jalen's being guarded.
The Sixers grievance that they're following in the league.
I'm locked into Game 3. That's where we are. We don't get sidetracked with that stuff. I'm just, like I said, I watched the whole game, not 2 minutes worth.
Go ahead, Ray. The floor is yours.
I mean, he's a miserable guy. Everyone does not want to play for him. 47% of players, the other 53% were not being honest. That's pretty much what it comes down to. That guy seems like a horrible person to have to be around every single day. And the fact that he's now whining about calls. The last thing I would do after the way Game 2 went is, the way they're guarding Jalen Brunson. No, he's being hacked. No, he's just being guarded well. Like, okay, they found something that works defensively. Go do your job as a coach and fix it and get him going. Shut up about this. There is a time and place to complain. That one, not the one for me. You stole Game 2. Thanks in part to what the officials gave you. Don't give me but the way Brunson's being guarded. That bothered me. And he's not funny. Don't try to be funny,
Yeah,
okay?
no.
You're not Seinfeld stepping up in the Madison Square Garden and having yourself a show. You don't have a set. You're not funny. That's never been your thing. And you, with this 46-minute report, being concerned about the first 46 minutes of the game, your team looked like crap in those first 46 minutes. So maybe you should address that instead of addressing the officiating the way that you have. I don't like the guy. I really don't.
Fired up.
I want to see that man eliminated. We need to do everything in our power in the next 4 games, 5 games, however long this series goes, to make sure that man has no joy going into this offseason.
Nah, that was forced. I didn't feel that.
That was exciting. I'm glad I got to see
He was better
that.
yesterday.
That was good.
I just
was
don't like
amazing.
him. I hate the
demonstrative.
face.
The arms are up. I love it, Ray.
To go, yeah, Ray, that was spectacular.
awesome.
I don't think it's hug worthy, but it was good. It was
fine.
good. Yeah,
I know you're hurting today because I'm leaving you. So
I
That's why.
agree. What? I agree with you on the Tom Thibodeau stuff. Thibodeau, whatever you want to, whatever dough
Yeah, he
you want to.
pronounces. He's very adamant. You can call him Tibbs,
But it's Thibodeau.
and I have friends that live down in New Orleans, and that name is pretty prominent down there, and it's absolutely Thibodeau. The H is not. Nope. Because I remember there was a chance he could have coached the Pelicans at one of the iterations of his career, and he was very adamant, like you pronounce the H for me. But I don't know if it's like something like down the line, if it's like a Kels thing. Remember, like Jason Kelsey's dad was like, no, it's supposed to be Kels, and I went with Kelsey. I'm like, what? You can't just. I guess you can. You can do whatever you want.
But
Right?
that makes me want the Sixers to beat the Knicks even more tonight.
there's no
And the
doubt.
fact that Ray just went off on his 3rd rant of the week, yeah, I'm fired up. Ray, you could have me running through a wall whenever you want, buddy. That's how good of a motivational speaker. I'm going to call you Uncle Quote. I mean, I think that's your new nickname, Uncle Quote. Okay, when we get back, I'm going to hit Amy up as far as specific draft tonight. Specifically, do they stay at 22? Specifically, who do they take? What position do they go with? What does she feel about it? We'll have all that and more here middays, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, a 76ers playoff update on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Game 3 tonight. I'm Ray Dunn. This 76er playoff update is brought to you by Michelob Ultra. When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. After the chaos of Game 2, the 76ers return home trailing in the series 2-0 to the Knicks. Game 2 provided plenty in the way of drama, and Tuesday's last 2-minute report provided plenty of discussion about how differently Game 2 could have ended. Except Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau didn't quite see it that way.
No, I'm more concerned with the 46-minute report. No, and I mean that. You know, I knew they couldn't call a foul there. I'm watching the way Jalen's being guarded. You know.
The Sixers grievance that they're calling in the league.
I'm locked into Game 3. That's where we are. You know, like we don't get sidetracked with that stuff. You know, I'm just, you know, like I said, I watched the whole game, not 2 minutes worth.
And watching that whole game, you of course know the role players for the 76ers still have yet to step up in this series. There's conversation about them potentially getting some reinforcements and the potential return of D'Anthony Melton, who practiced on Wednesday and spoke afterwards about his attempt to get back on the floor.
Phillies baseball coming up early this afternoon. Of course, Game 3, big Game 3 tonight down at the Wells Fargo Center. 76ers, Knicks. And then the Philadelphia Eagles are going to do like that draft thing where they're going to pick a player that just played in college, and you're going to either like it or hate it, and all of those stuff going on. But we've had a great interaction with everybody today. Our question out there is, I need blank from blank tonight for the 76ers, and we've gotten a bunch of great answers on the line. It's still open, 610-632-0975. And also we have some answers on the text board, Ray?
Yeah, we do have some answers on the text board here. So we got, first up is Kurt. Kurt checking in with he needs Buddy to shoot and not do a jump pass. Take the shot.
That's a good one.
I like that. Yeah, indecisiveness from Buddy Hield is something I don't think any of us wants anymore. Okay, I like that one.
Yeah, so that was a start there. Father Sean is going along the lines of something you guys talked about earlier. Needs to see some more offense from Oubre and then maybe some defensive minutes from DeAnthony Melton.
Yeah. All right. Yep.
Alaa brought that up just the way we laid it out too, right?
Yeah.
If DeAnthony Melton's going to get some run, I really don't mind him getting some run with playing defense on Jalen Brunson and having, giving a break to Tobias Harris, Kelly Oubre, whoever it may be.
Right.
Yeah. So I like that.
That's a good one.
All right. Someone checking in from Delaware here saying they need 15 to 20 from Oubre tonight. He's my biggest disappointment so far, but kind of not surprised by it.
Oh, kind of not. They tagged with kind of not
yeah,
surprised.
a little bit of a dig there at the end of what they need.
Surprised.
Why? I mean, it's an honest question. I'm not being mean. Like, the guy gave you 15 or more points in, like, the last 10 games of the season. Why?
Yeah, but he said he's kind of not surprised.
He's not surprised that he's not giving you anything.
Yeah.
That means, he expected him not to give you something?
Yeah, exactly. That's why that's
why I say, why? Why would you, why are you not surprised?
I think you should be surprised that he's not giving you.
Yeah, you should be surprised.
Yeah, so I was
a lot of words here that are making my brain break. On to the next
Double
text.
negative.
Go ahead.
All right, let's go to Natalie. And I'm going to read this in the way it's capitalized.
Oh.
Tonight.
Can you do that? Are you that talented?
We're going to find out.
Okay.
And if not, we can use this against me forever.
I'm excited to hear this. We talked about it. I'm excited to hear this, right?
We've built this up too much. It's not going to live up to the billing. I need rebounding from NBA players on the Sixers who are professional athletes who get paid millions.
Wow. I get it. That rebounding was fine. And that's where you talk about the 47 and a half minutes versus 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because for 47 and a half minutes, you were fine with rebounding. You were even. You were dead even. 44 total rebounds on each side. Dead even 47 minutes and 30 seconds. Dead even on 10 each of offensive rebounding. But everybody's going to remember the cost to Jalen Brunson. Isaiah Hartenstein got the rebound. It's costly.
I just, you go back and you think.
Continue it.
Yeah, like somebody had to get that. Somebody had to be that guy to turn around and go, oh, okay, I got this.
Somebody did.
And somebody, levels him. And I'm not talking in a mean way or anything. Hartenstein had a full run at that rebound. He came from, the top of the key.
Yeah.
And had a full run in. I know the guys that I played with, and you would think there's always that guy or two that they're going to do the right thing.
Such a strong
Somebody
box
had
out.
to look and go, I got this one.
I'm going to take this guy out.
I would rather multiple guys that had gone to him had the idea of, wait, we got to stop this, and the ball hit the floor or something like that. But I just can't believe that three guys in Batum and Harris and Embiid all got caught looking at the basketball. All of them. And I understand, and Alaa explained it great. You had 3,000 things going on at that time. And it's understandable. It's understandable that you're looking at the ball saying, all right, I'll go get it, and not thinking of, wait, before I get that, let me stop someone else from getting it.
And then you had done that for 47 minutes and 30 seconds. Like you mentioned earlier in that game, Kelly Oubre is boxing his guy out, almost holding him out, and still corrals the rebound.
Yeah.
And first of all, Ray, excellent translation, I thought, from the text.
That, Amy.
I got the emphasis.
It was very good.
Yeah, I got the emphasis. But yeah, that's right. It's a correct thing. You do it. The rebounding goes 48 minutes.
Yeah, not 47,
That's why it's
30.
so frustrating because it was fine for the entire game, save that little microcosm.
I'm feeling great. I feel myself getting don't.
No,
okay. All right, well, luckily
we have one psycho on this show. We don't need more than one. Sicko, psycho, wherever you want to go with it.
Same thing.
Yeah, that's all right. You could probably use a day off, right?
Oh, he's got one.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, if they draft an offensive lineman tonight, I think I'm not coming in tomorrow.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you
All
go.
right, no sweat.
Lock of the day.
I did promise to get into the draft with Amy a little bit, but we had a quick segment there. So when we get back, we're going to do that. Plus, a lot more Sixers talk. Still want to hear from you all. I need blank from blank tonight. What are your fill-ins on that? Amy Fadul here with us until we turn off the lights at 2, and then you get the best show ever, of course, with Tyrone, Ricky, and Jen, but it's not that. It's Tyrone, Tom Alvord, and Jen today. So you get that threesome going on, which is awfully cool. This is Midday Show, Bob Cooney, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Breaking news. Now, more with Bob Cooney. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Welcome back on this great Thursday we got going on in the sports world. I was just looking through Twitter, and it was a video of Ricky Fowler, golfer Ricky Fowler. I know there's some people that aren't golf fans out there, but this is pretty cool. Hitting a hole-in-one yesterday.
Oh, we had a hole-in-one on Pine Valley.
At Pine Valley. Yeah, over in Jersey.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, hole-in-one for Ricky Fowler. Way to go, Ricky. Surprised that a video came out. And
yeah, Pine Valley is a place you don't see a lot of phones, videos.
My son Kyle is one of his best friends, Jake, who won Group 4, which is the biggest group he can over in Jersey. He was the state champion Group 4. Great golfer. He caddies at Pine Valley.
Does he?
And when I found out, I was like, oh, Jake, he says, Mr. Cooney, just got to tell you right off the bat.
Can't get you on.
I cannot. No. I wasn't asking. That's funny you said that. I wasn't asking that. He said, I cannot tell you who I've caddied for or who I know I'm caddying for. He's not allowed to talk.
It's very exclusive over there.
Oh, it's crazy. Have you ever been there?
I think women only are allowed to play there Tuesdays at 10. So I've never played there. I'd love to play. Whatever day it is, whatever time slot, call me.
Yeah. Well, early on in my career at the Daily News, I have a couple stories. Early on in my career at the Daily News, I lived over by there. And so I was like, you know what? Where is this Pine Valley? I got to go find it. So I go and I figure out where it is, and I take the drive, and I know where I'm going. And it's a little back road that takes you into it. And I go back. I go, oh, this is pretty cool. I get, 20 feet from the course, and here comes a cop walking out. Can I help you?
Yep. Nope.
I said, yeah, I'm just looking to see. No, you need to turn around. We don't let people just come and look at our club. I was like, oh, okay. Years later, they asked me to do a story about Pine Valley. They had a tournament there, and it wasn't the Crump Cup, which is something that's there every September that people can go to. But I went to do a story on Pine Valley under the guise of I was covering the tournament. So I go there and I get the pro and all that, and 9 out of 10 questions that I asked, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. Very, very eerie.
It's very exclusive.
But I got to walk the course all day long. So that was cool. And then I was there another time. I don't know why I was there. Maybe I was covering a tournament there the second time. I think I was. The second time, I got to walk it all and all those things, and I was covering a tournament. But I got asked one time to play there, and it was a guy that worked at the Courier Post at the time. His uncle is a member there. So he calls me on Saturday and says, listen, there's no other answer than yes.
Yes.
Do you want to play Pine Valley tomorrow? And I went, play Pine Valley on a Sunday. I had to go down to Maryland, Baltimore County to cover.
That's a
lamest excuse I've ever heard. And Mike said to me, his name was Mike Rodano, he says, and I will never invite you again.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
it.
letting you
It's
know.
a one-off. You should have called Mike Kern and said, you need to go down to Baltimore.
Look, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
I ain't playing it. If I got to play, I ain't going to play.
Kern would have been fine with that for you to play Pine Valley.
It was a circumstance there was nobody else available.
Too bad.
Yeah. So it was one of those Sundays where every team was playing. But
I thought it was going to be the birth of your child that you were going to stay.
I was really rooting for that. I was rooting for that so bad for that to be the way that story ended.
Yes, because he would have been able to say, no, of course, I would never skip anything.
Correct, obviously.
I wouldn't do it.
All right.
Yeah, no, we got you.
I understand. God, I wouldn't finish out.
I understand.
Yep.
You need to go on a plane. All right, Aim. Let's look at the NFL
Let's do
draft
it.
that we have tonight.
Let's do it.
The Eagles are sitting at number 22. I'll start off. I already asked you some questions on this earlier in the show, but there's probably some people listening that weren't listening earlier.
Oh.
So I am going to ask you, Amy Fadul, what position will your Philadelphia Eagles select tonight? Well, no, let's go this. Are they going to select at number 22?
No.
Are they going to select lower than number 22?
I don't believe so. I feel like you overthink if you think you can move back in the draft and get more value. I'm sure it's there, but you already have 2 second-round picks, so why are you moving? To what end? So, no, I don't.
So you have them moving forward.
I have them moving up.
And you thinking, what about area are they going to choose?
I'd love for them to go as high as possible and get the best player out there for their needs. Their needs being offensive linemen and cornerback, something to help that. I don't know. We've talked about the quantity of cornerbacks and secondary players on this roster. I'm looking for a plug-and-play, shutdown corner, the possibility, to be with your team long-term. A guy like that, I would think you can get in the 15 to 18 range.
Okay.
I mean, I would love to move up really high and get into the 13, 14, and I think you could get Terrion Arnold there. I think he'll probably be gone if you're picking at 18, but you could still get Kool-Aid McKinstry. McKinstry is also a shutdown corner type. He might be available at 22, maybe you don't, but I feel like Howie Roseman does better when he moves up. You look at the draft history of him.
Yeah, I think so too.
The history says that he does better. They have their target set. They have whatever, their 3, 4, 5 guys. They look at the position. They see how the board's shaking down, and they think, oh, if we move up 5 spots, we can go get one of our premier guys. I feel like that's really their kind of overall draft philosophy. If you look at the history of Howie Roseman's draft.
He's
never taken a corner. They haven't taken a corner in, 20 years, over 20 years.
Yeah, the last one was Lito Shepherd, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just looked another mock draft. Your boy, Terrion Arnold, on this one.
Yes, where's he at?
Went number 17.
Oh, ooh.
So if you moved up to 16 with that Seattle Seahawks thing that's going on that
Then
they
you could
might want to
absolutely
get,
get him.
then you could do it. Yeah, I as I said earlier, I put out there yesterday to Bill Colarulo. He got out the calculator on. I said, what if the Eagles gave up 22 and 50 or 53 and moved up to 16, so they got number 16 and the 99th pick of the Seattle Seahawks, and he went in his computer and all that, and he said, oh, that matches up. The value of it, that matches up perfectly. So you'd be okay with that?
I would be okay with that.
Okay. So you want that corner. You want the shutdown corner. I'm trying to look to see where Kool-Aid is going in this draft because you just got done drinking a Kool-Aid.
For the people that are watching on our YouTube, lovely Dylan brought in some Kool-Aid for everybody to drink the Kool-Aid.
So
for those who want a cornerback, they think he could be the guy.
So in this mock draft, it has the Eagles staying at 22.
Taking him.
Offensive tackle Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma.
Yeah. Well, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that leans into you. Listen, they probably will take an offensive lineman. It's a very good O-lineman draft. There's some great guys out there, guys from Oregon and big-time players, and it's wonderful. But like you asked me who I would prefer.
Sure.
My preference would be a cornerback.
Yeah, so if they stayed at 22 and went with like the kid from Iowa, Cooper DeJean.
Cooper DeJean. Not in love with that.
No.
Not as in love with it. If they say at 22, I think you take an offensive lineman. I think the value at 22 is better for an offensive line. I don't have Bill's chart, but I would think the value is higher for an offensive lineman at 22 than it is for a corner at 22.
At number 29, Detroit Lions, in this mock draft of which I am looking, cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry, 29. So you could maybe stay at 22 and
take him.
And get.
There you
Now,
go.
I proposed to Amy earlier that what if you're sitting there and, I don't know, they're at pick like 12 or something, and Brock Bowers still hasn't gone. Tight end, who, look, you're going to need a tight end in this draft probably because you really don't have a good pass-catching backup tight end. So you're probably going to. But would you make that big of a splash?
At 12, you have to think about what you have to garner to earn 12, right? You have to give up 22. You have to give up one of your second-round picks and something else, right?
Probably a future
something else. So you're giving up 3 draft picks to move up to that, that's a lot of draft capital.
I'm all right.
But you love him. You love Brock Bowers.
I do.
You love him.
I think that would be cool. That would be fun.
It would be fun. I don't know. So in your mind, you're trading up a good chunk of draft capital for a guy
cares?
that's not starting.
Oh, he's going to be out there an awful lot. Yeah.
He will be out there awful lot.
He'll be out
but
there
in your
a
mind,
ton.
he's not your number 1 tight end, right? Or is he?
Yeah, he's my
He
number
isn't.
1.
Listen, man, you cannot. I'm not going to break up the love affair you have with Brock Bowers. I'm going to say go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
And
if
if
it makes you happy.
Yeah, and if it's not him, then I want the fatty from Oregon.
Of course you do.
I mean, that's.
Powers Jackson has never gotten so much love than he has from you.
I'll tell you, I even have a friend who said, dude, I'm friends with the dude. If he gets picked, I can get him on your show. So I'm not only looking out for Bob Cooney, who likes the big fatties.
But the Midday show.
But I'm looking out for the whole Midday show.
Nice. So nice of you.
Yeah, right?
Caring.
I'm always thinking of other people.
Very
That's what it
caring.
is. All right, Chris and Pennsauken wants to talk Little Eagles and Sixers. Chris, what's going on, buddy? You're on The Fanatic.
What's up, the True 2, man? I love you guys together. That's
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. We love it, too.
Yeah. The True 2, man. That's what I'm going to drink a lager on you guys today.
All right.
All right.
I got it.
I got to tell you, man, I want him so bad. He's 24. They just re-upped him on his 5th-year option. Let's go get Sertain, man. Oh my God. Let's
from
go.
the Broncos.
Yes.
Now, Chris,
that would take a lot.
Yeah, I've heard his name, and we all know who Patrick Sertain is. unbelievably good, although Devontae Smith made a great catch against him, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of years ago. But I've heard his name bantied about an awful lot, Chris. Is Denver putting him up for – is he, like, up for trade?
Well, supposedly, you know how all the rumors are on the same day. Sean Payton's in love with J.J. McCarthy, quarterback.
Yeah,
and he ain't going to get him at 12.
No.
Not with all this maneuvering. So if I could give him my 22nd pick right now, I give him my 22nd pick, and I give him a third-round pick, and I think he'd do it because he's in his fifth-year option. But if I couldn't, I love that kid so much, man. He's the second-best cornerback in the whole NFL. And if I couldn't get him, I loved John's chart this morning. He had some NFL chart, which I loved it. It's not that bad a deal to do it. If you give up your 22nd pick and your 53rd pick, he had some NFL chart. You get to 16. Yeah. Arnold or Mitchell are going to be there, and I'm grabbing one of them. And by the way, when you give up your 53, you're getting a third-round pick back at 81.
Right.
That's what Johnson does. I do that all day and twice on Sunday, man. That's an instant starter, either one of them from day one, because you're going to lose both those cornerbacks next year. They're old. They're Bradbury and Slay. And I can't rely on that Maddox that we brought back. So there's three guys we might lose. You put him in there with the Ringo on the other side. Got height.
Yeah.
And they're guys. Know what's good about these guys? And we don't know all like the pros do, but all those guys can tackle. I'm so sick of our defensive backs shouldering people. They're ducking quarterbacks.
Yeah,
man.
they're not. They don't rap real well at all. Chris, thanks so much. Confidence in the Sixers tonight, real quick. Yes or no?
Yo, let me tell you, hand ain't shaking a bit. We kicked their ass tonight, running away from whistle to whistle. Love you guys.
All right, thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Yeah, that is good stuff. Wow.
Yeah, He said Quinyon Mitchell. Do they have anybody? Quinyon Mitchell as low as 17, 18? Maybe. Guy from Toledo.
Yeah. Let me see. I'll look at the current mock draft that I have.
There's a bunch of mock drafts, and I love that there's so much variety because you can get. Yeah, I think
Tyrone was fun to listen to. He did his the other night, too.
It's just, I love that people put them out there because you're out there. And my son, my 9-year-old, has his mock draft, his first round, all in, which is great. He does all of his homework and everything like that. He does his actual homework, too, mind you.
That is so cool.
But he does it, so he likes certain players. But I love that people put that out there because it is evidence of you being wrong. Like a guy like Mel Kiper, that's all he does. I think he hit on one player last year.
Is that right?
Yeah, which is tough.
It is. Quinyon Mitchell they have going at 8 in this mock draft that I was looking at.
I've not seen him fall out of like a top 10, top 12 type of thing, but I do think a Terrion Arnold could be available there, like at a 16 or 17. I will disagree one thing. I do love Patrick Surtain. Awesome, obviously. You're going to need a lot more than a couple of draft picks.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
You're going to need a player, too. They're going to want to get a guy back.
Yeah, okay.
The Denver Broncos.
Here's Bradbury.
Yeah.
I'll make one prediction for the draft tonight, I think J.J. McCarthy winds up being what was Brady's first name from Notre Dame, the quarterback?
His first name is Brady.
Brady Quinn. What's his
Brady
last name?
Quinn?
Brady Quinn.
Yeah. I was like, his first name is Brady.
Yeah, Brady.
Are you sure you're Irish?
I'm all right. I think J.J. McCarthy, and I don't wish this on anybody. I think he has one of those nights where he's staring at the camera and they still haven't called my name.
Like Will Levis?
They still haven't called my name. Yeah.
That was rough.
Stuff like that. That was really
the Will Levis one was rough. Well,
Yeah, so
I think they took Brady. He eventually left the room, did he not? When he was out there,
I think so. Brady Quinn left the room.
They eventually left the room.
Oh God,
they kept going, and all the girls around him. One was his sister. I think one was a girlfriend. They were just kind of, hey, this is fun.
Hey, this sucks.
But look, Levis came on for the Titans and had a pretty good first year. But yeah, that was really tough to watch.
Mayo and coffee, though. Like that's the only thing that really sticks out for me about the Will Levis experience.
He also eats bananas, I think, with the peel on.
Yeah. So
he's
like
a weird dude.
There are red flags there as a draft prospect.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll eat peanuts with the show on.
Why?
What?
You can't possibly spit. Oh, that's just laziness. The mayo and coffee is strange.
That's not laziness.
Wait. What did you just say?
So Will Levis, one of the things, like an idiosyncrasy that he has, he puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
I am shocked that you missed this news cycle last year.
Yeah, this was last year. Was a big thing. The thing is, it's like 3 years ago. He kind of burst on the scene. So he started at Penn State and then transferred to Kentucky and had a really good first season at Kentucky, running this kind of NFL style offense. Liam Cohen was the offensive coordinator. It was really great. Everybody's so jazzed about him. A little bit of a tail off his senior year there, but whatever. So that was when his first story came out. He was on the national stage. They had a great year his junior year at Kentucky. NFL offense, and everybody's talking to him, and they're like, "Oh, what's something funny about Will Levis?" And I can't remember how it came up, and they're like, "He puts mayonnaise in his coffee," and people were like, "I'm sorry," and so he confirmed it, and you saw him drinking it. And it was a big thing, and if they had NIL at the time, he would have probably gotten something with Hellman's.
I think he did get a Mayo deal.
Yeah,
at some
I think
point
he did. They
following-
like Dukes, if I had to guess. But
Yeah, whatever
I
it
don't
was.
know, whatever it was.
Ugh.
Mayonnaise in the coffee.
Mayo in
Just
general.
yeah.
Ew.
You squeamy on the mayo?
I'm not big on mayo.
Yeah, my wife's the same way. Like if I was putting mayo, say, on my burger roll, and I still had, say, some left on the spoon, I acted like I was going to eat it off the spoon, she will run away like throwing up.
I just don't know why you would need to eat mayonnaise like that.
I don't either, and I never would. I only do it to torture my wife.
Well, that's
It's very nice.
Yeah.
I used to make sandwiches. I worked at a sandwich shop, and the mayo all the time, having to put it on the sandwiches.
Oh, well,
used
that's
to-
different because
I
when
don't-
you've
I
worked
like
at a
mayo.
place like that, the mayonnaise, and I've worked at a place like that,
It's a
it
vat.
comes, that's just disgusting.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that might have ruined
No
it for
one needs
me.
to see mayonnaise in that form. It's
No.
fine on the sandwich or in a chicken salad or a tuna salad, egg salad, but you see it in the form of a vat, like a big giant
Yeah.
container. It's just the way it moves. That takes a lot.
All right, let's do a mayonnaise test for you. Do you put mayonnaise on a burger?
No.
Ray?
No.
I'm mayonnaise on a burger guy.
I mean, if it's on there, like if I accidentally if I forget to take it off, it's like if I'm at a restaurant or something and
Right.
it comes with it, I'll eat it. I
Right.
enjoy the taste, the tang of a mayonnaise, but I don't go at home. If I'm grilling out and we've made burgers, I'm not pulling the mayonnaise out of the drawer. I'll put it out for
I
everybody.
do. Yeah, I do mayonnaise and
I'm
lettuce.
like, do you do ketchup too?
No, I'll do ketchup if I don't have mayonnaise, but I
Interesting.
don't
How
do
about
mayonnaise
mustard?
and ketchup. No, I don't do mustard.
Yeah, I'm a mustard. I'm
No.
a mustard.
Mustard I only put on hot dogs and soft pretzels. That's
All right,
pretty
well,
much
that's fair.
it. Yeah.
Tomorrow, National Soft Pretzel Day.
there
Oh,
you
it
go.
is. Gosh, if we only knew a place that would let us know that it's going to be National Soft Pretzel Day, that would be cool.
Check your email, Bob.
Oh, I'm so bad at that stuff. I swear, I think I'm becoming really bad at communicating.
No, you do it so well.
You're great.
Like, I got something going on. I just totally miscommunicated, I think, with our boss. So they come
Yeah.
running at me at 12:45 saying,
Need to
okay,
go?
you ready to leave? I'm like, I'm not leaving. Yeah, but whatever. It's all me. It's on me, Ray. And
Yes,
that's
it
why
is.
I need you. Oh, that's right.
what
You're
he's here
leaving.
for.
Dave in Burlington, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, David?
Hey, how are you?
Great.
Hope all is well with you all.
Good
Thank
stuff.
All
you.
right,
Me
so I called to. It's kind of cool that Amy Purdue's on like I watch her on TV all the time. But anyway,
Thanks,
I
David.
called.
She's
I
even
called
cuter in
to-
person, David.
No, it's not about the cuteness. It's about the fact that she's that I watched the Sixers post game. So that's how I get my Sixers news because they're on punishment with me right now
That's
for
right.
the past year. So I just watch Amy and them. So that's how. So it's kind of cool. But I'm calling to give positivity because I'm a very esoteric person, and I'm 51. I've seen a lot of basketball, and I can honestly say this franchise has lost in ways that I've never even seen imaginable. Even the Jalen Brunson shot he hit, it hit the side of the rim, went up, and went in. And at that moment, I said, "Oh, we winning in 6." So don't worry
Winning
about it.
in 6.
And
All right.
winning in 6. We'll go to the NBA Finals. I will call before the NBA Finals again and say, "I told y'all." It's just, the universe is about balance, and it's been so imbalanced right now versus against the Sixers that I'm going, nah, this is going to plan. This is going to pan out. And besides, we don't win pretty in the first place, so we should all know we're going to go through the drama before we get to the other end. But this year, they'll get there. That's my positivity.
I love
That's
it,
good. I
David.
love the
Thanks so much for the positivity.
And also
Absolutely love
esoteric.
it. Esoteric. Do you know the meaning of esoteric?
I do.
Ray?
No.
So it's very specific.
Yeah,
You're
like
very,
you're known
very
by a
small.
very small number of people.
Yeah.
Like yeah. So like
Usually, like, I think about
you're
it-
esoteric. Like only a few people get you.
Right.
Well,
yeah,
I've never heard it described a human, but usually it's like your philosophy can be esoteric because
Right,
it's
right.
very
It's
your
more
outlook
so
is
an object
esoteric.
is- yeah.
But
I'm gonna
I like-
Google
I
it.
like
Don't worry,
I
in the
like that
break.
Ray is esoteric.
I think Ray's esoteric. You know,
I just
what-
assumed he was going to describe me as it, no matter what it meant.
Yeah, that's true. True. It wouldn't have mattered.
What I love about Ray, one of the things that really makes me laugh is when he loses it, like laughing, and I do it a lot. Like I do it a lot on the show that I used to be on, where I can't stop laughing, and it's bad. But Ray and I get like all Ray gets that way, but you can barely tell he's laughing. So I have to like look really hard at him and like, are you hearing me? But he can't talk because he's laughing so hard, but you can't see it on his face. So it's
I'm just
usually-
amused consistently, I
Yeah.
guess.
and I can't tell because you can't hear anything. He laughs silently.
A silent
It is
laugh.
a silent
yeah,
laugh.
that's true. I've seen
It's
that.
driven some people nuts.
Yeah, like sometimes I don't know if you're ignoring me, but then I realize,
I'm
no,
just
your
enjoying,
shoulders are going up and down, so you must be laughing. Like yesterday, I had to leave him on a note, like, would he eat Dylan McKinnon? And he thought I was crazy. I said, no, you're on an island.
Are.
No, it was a legitimate question.
No, it's not. It's not a legitimate
I
question.
just did it out of nowhere. Like we weren't talking
There's
about
no way that's a
anything.
legitimate
It's
question.
the exact opposite of a legitimate question.
Well, the best part
That's
was
the worst kind of
so I'm getting ready
hypothetical.
to walk out, and I just go, "Would you eat Dylan?"
What?
And he's
why?
like,
Why poor
"What?" And I go,
Dylan?
"All right, it has to be a dire scenario. Obviously, you're on an island. There's
Yeah,
only the
if we
two of you.
crashed
You're
the plane?
starving. Do you kill him, and then for sustenance, you have to eat him?" And he says, "No, I would kill him and let the animals eat him, and then I would kill the animals and eat them." And Dylan comes over and goes, "Ray, that's offending. Why would you,
Yeah,
so,
you've not only eaten him, but you killed him ahead of time. You didn't just wait for him to die.
Well, that could take a while. You're hungry."
See?
You're on an
Amy,
island. There couldn't possibly be anything in the ocean.
I'm
that you
just
could
trying to
eat.
cut the promo. I got things.
Just,
That's why you have the Wilson
I'm
Bowl
just
today.
telling you. So that's where we stood yesterday.
Lost
I
his
do want to
mind.
tell you, 1 o'clock hour, it's brought to you by Ferguson HVAC Line Conklin. Attention HVAC contractors. For equipment, parts, and supplies for every heating and cooling job, visit one of Ferguson's counter locations in Bensalem, King of Prussia, Pennsauken, or Westchester. When we get back, more Sixers talk. Take you up to 2 o'clock. Best show ever on after that. You got Tyrone today. You got Tom Alvord today. And, of course, the lovely Jen Scordo today. So all that and a whole lot more. This is Middays 97.5 The Fanatic.
5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Welcome back, Amy Fadul. Thank you so much for being with us all day today. She is awesome. Hope you guys are having a great day out there. It's a wonderful sports day. Of course, Sixers-Knicks Game 3 tonight. So many things to talk about with it that we have already and we'll still get into. We also have a new little feature coming up in a minute after I get Dom here on the phone. It's called the Last Week Report. Now, the L2M is the last 2 minutes that the NBA gives out, and they tell you whether they did good or bad. Well, Ray and I are going to do the Last Week Report. Now, we're doing it today on Thursday because Ray's leaving us.
Right. Normally it'll be Friday.
Normally it'll be Friday if Ray ever comes back, but today it's going to be on Thursday, and it's just a little compilation of, some fun stuff that
It's our accountability here.
It's our accountability,
We got a lot wrong this week.
No different than any other week. Tasty Cake Dom, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Dom?
Hey, Bob. Hey, Amy.
Hey, Dom.
I have 2 questions that I wanted to ask you, Bob and Amy. First of all, they're saying about Tobias and Joel's rebounding dropped dramatically in the second half. Do you think the way they called the game in the first half got in their heads and took away from their intensity a little bit? I mean, Alaa was on those refs in the first quarter, Aim.
Yeah, he was.
It was really
And the second quarter, and the third quarter, and the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was a little.
I don't know if style of play contributed to it or not, Dom. I really didn't think about it. Did style of play drastically change in the second half as far as the way New York was attacking the basket, that it took Embiid and or Harris away from rebounding?
Yeah, they felt they couldn't be as aggressive, I think is what Dom's kind of alluding to.
Right, that's what I'm saying, Amy, is that once you get those ticky-tack calls in the front,
maybe you
think they're going to call it. Or you may not even want it to happen, but does it get in your head where you back off just that little bit?
I would hope that. Obviously, the answer is you hope not, right, Dom? Because, A, you don't want officials taking the guys' games away because of the way they're calling it. But, B, I don't recall Harris or Embiid being in foul trouble.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. Three fouls for Tobias overall, and then Embiid 2. So
yeah, so they weren't in. I don't remember Tobias getting his third in the first half like he did in Game 2. But great question, Dom, and I can't wait to talk to you about Game 3 later on this week. Game 3 tonight. Great question. I don't think so though, because New York didn't let up physicality wise. I get it too.
Yeah, like sometimes you can feel that pressure of like, I can't be as aggressive going up because I'm going to get a ticky-tack foul, running into a guy. I thought they let him play to an extent on some of those.
Yeah.
But you saw obviously a difference. Kelly Oubre had 4 fouls. Lowry picked up a bunch late.
Yeah, he did.
That one.
Yeah.
And you worried about the one was overturned.
Right.
Which would have been his 6th foul, and then he did end up getting his 5th foul. Yeah, did not foul out of the game.
Yeah.
You don't want anybody to do that. But no, I mean, there is always the question. You would hope it doesn't come into play because it's the playoffs, and it's not win or go home, but it is win or go home at this point.
Yeah, it really is. And I mentioned earlier, maybe tonight, Game 3 is whoever wins this game might be a winner of the series. But I could be wrong on that because I've been wrong an awful lot, and that's why we have the last week report.
All right, so we're going to start actually with last week, leading into this week, because we get to do a promo that promotes this show every day after the show to get us ready. It plays in the afternoon and then 1 in the morning. And Bob has really been cracking himself up lately when it comes to calling the morning show a couple of names while this promo plays during their show. He was trying to get out the Pebbles and Bam Bam name calling last Friday leading into Monday's show, and here's a couple of the takes.
Hey, join us after Pebbles and Bam Bam. Hey, join us after Pebbles.
Needless to say, a little difficult for him to get some of these promos going, but not nearly as difficult as some of the, I would say, the memory he's had of some of the first names or some of the roster of the 76ers. Here we go. He wants to see more out of Oubre. Question is, what is Kelly Oubre's first name?
I think you'll get a little bit more out of him. You have to get among Tobias Harris, Kyle Oubre.
We appreciate you, Amy, for trying to keep him in line there with that one.
Tried.
This week also featured a lot of thoughts about feet for one, Bob Cooney.
So it's all going to be me this segment, huh? You have no say in this. Huh?
Listen,
okay.
I'm going to come up later. We're going day by day here. This is Monday. I'm taking you through Monday right now.
Okay. Well,
the fourth toe is the ring toe.
There's no such thing. They're just ripping off the finger names.
Most women that wear rings on their feet, I don't think have a specific toe that it goes on.
Ah,
so you wear on your toes?
I would think I used to be, but I would be on my long toe.
Now he's focused on the rings on the feet. He comes right back again to looking at the feet, Bob. And now you'd think that was it, right?
No.
Like we do enough on feet at least once there to be talking about feet, but he was thinking about feet again.
It's a great toe. Like, how come we have a thumb, obviously, which makes us different from everybody else. We have opposing thumbs, but we have an index finger, we have a middle finger, we have a ring finger, we have a pinky. Why does it just go big toe, pinky toe? What happened to all the toes in between? Why don't they get named, Ray?
I bet they have names.
What are they?
I don't
never
know.
heard them.
No, you can't
I've
have,
been on this planet a while, and I've never heard toe
I know
names.
you've been on this planet a while.
I think I had a good point there.
You did.
Yeah,
you
I
tried.
feel bad for the feet.
You're thinking a lot about the feet. Now,
I don't think a lot about feet.
Well, it just seems like it.
Monday you did.
We're wrapping up Monday because everyone came into Monday thinking about who in the world was this guy on Saturday that torched the 76ers. Miles McBride was the name. Our good friend Keith Pompey joined the program, and, well, we were there. So close.
But that guy, Deuce Edwards, this guy made 5 or 7 threes.
Everyone is still trying to figure out who Deuce McBride is, despite what we saw. Now, you also, Bob, and then we're going to continue with you for a little bit. We're going to get to me. Don't worry. Yeah. On Tuesday, you talked about the NFL draft, and you just lied to us.
I know you want a lineman.
He's so boring.
We're going to talk about this on Thursday. But come on.
Whoa,
No.
calm down. I didn't say I haven't
You
said
did. I've seen it on Instagram.
Always go with the big fatties up front. Yeah, that's right. Get me Jackson Powers Johnson from Oregon. I was asked if you had to choose between a lineman or a cornerback, which would you choose? It was a limited choice that I had, and therefore I went with the big fatty.
And what'd you say just about a half hour ago about who you wanted?
I don't know. Maybe a big fatty. I don't know who I wanted, to tell you the truth.
We know who you want.
Oh, yeah.
Bowers.
I do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Brock Bowers, yeah.
All right, I came in on Tuesday just distraught after the 76ers lost, and I think it really, really impacted my ability to do my job because multiple times within the last few hours of the show, I struggled with the updates. We're going to start with the Sixers playoff update that just did not go well. Joel Embiid had words on how he feels about this series.
I call timeout.
That's Joel. And it didn't just stop there. The sports update that followed playoff update. Questions about what went on in that sequence, whether Nick Nurse was trying to get himself a timeout.
We're good. We're going to win this series.
I call timeout. The referee looked right at me.
It was not great for me.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, I tried my best on this one. We had a couple of interesting Bill Colarulo moments yesterday. It was the open segment. He was in just a different... First off, he delivered, again, in my estimation, the worst take I've ever heard on sports.
Die and come back as anybody. It's Ray Dunn, man.
I don't think I can disagree with Bill.
I think we can all find a way to laugh at Bill on this one when he forgot a guy who's on ESPN 24/7, just couldn't quite get the name that he wanted, this notable Knicks fan.
It's the 2 fouls on Maxey. 2.
Yeah.
That's the frustrating thing. And look, oh, man, I'm forgetting his name now. Stephen Smith. Stephen Smith, right? Tyrone calls him Stephen.
Stephen A.
Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, so close to having the Stephen A. name there. And, Bob, yesterday, to wrap this one up.
He sounds so disappointed when you come back to me, but even Amy heard it.
You've mentioned every once in a while I get a little scrambled with the papers and don't quite know where something is.
This is great.
It was the 1 o'clock hour yesterday. And we just want to make sure you knew who it was brought to you by.
Tell you that the 1 o'clock hour it's brought to you by Ferguson HVAC. Did I already do this? All the days run together, Ray.
Yes, they all do run together. And finally, we talked about some problems you have with naming the roster. Sometimes I think you think the team's playing against themselves.
Here's one thought. You're not getting a lot of offense from Oubre, Tobias Harris, or Nick Batum, and they are doing a fantastic job defending Jalen Brunson.
A few moments later.
Anthony Melton is a very, very good perimeter defender. If he was fully healthy, a game plan very well may have been by Nick Nurse to put him on Kyle Lowry. Okay, I mentioned Johnson. whatever.
It's
They're both
it's a
diminutive point
small
guards, and they
Villanova
went to the
point
same
guards.
school. Yeah, I don't know why you're picking on me, right?
And that is our
you're
last week
disappointed.
report.
I
That
love
is
it.
Next week we're gonna have production around it and stuff like that, and it'll sound even worse.
Or better.
Or better, one of those two things. All right, when we get back, we're going to wrap up this show. Maybe I'll get a prediction out of Amy Fadul about what's going to happen in tonight's Sixers game. We've talked a lot about different situations and scenarios, but we haven't talked about a final score. Maybe I'll get that out of Amy when we get back. Also, we finished up with our question of the day. We need blank from blank, and we got a lot of great answers, and I'll review them, the ones that we got today. Midday's 5, The Fanatic.
and 975thefanatic.com.
Hey, welcome back as we have a few more minutes here before the best show ever takes over. Tyrone, Tom Alvord today, along with Jen Scordo. So hopefully you stay here all day long to hear what they have to say. Big sports day today as your fighting Phillies are looking to split the series now with the Cincinnati Reds. You have Sixers game 3 tonight, 7:30 at the Wells Fargo Center. We will be doing pregame down at the Wells Fargo Center from 6 to 7:30. It will be myself, D-Line, and Bill Colarulo. We'll get you started down there right by the Bet Rivers. I guess you call it the bar?
Yeah, we called it the lounge, I think.
Okay, Bet Rivers Lounge.
It's the area. There's
yeah, 106.
Drink over there. Yeah.
106, 107. We'll be there. So stop on by. We'd love to see you. Love to say hi to everybody, anybody, and then hang out for the Sixers. I got a great day today, Aim.
Right? Great day.
Well, yeah, so we got that, and then I'm staying there, stay around. I'm going to take my time leaving the arena tonight because our son is flying in at like 11:30 tonight, so I'm going to go right to the airport and grab him.
Pick him up.
Haven't seen him since like Christmas time.
And he's moving, and hopefully.
So, yeah, so he's moving on over here today. So, yes. So we got all that going on and a whole lot more. So I hope you're having a great Thursday above and beyond everything else. Hope everybody's safe. Hope everybody's happy. And let's all be nice to each other.
Good day.
Yeah. It takes too much energy to be mean and to be mad and all that and look for stuff. So try being the happy side like me and Amy are. And
positivity.
Life is pretty good. All right, Ames.
Feeling
So
good about
how
this
does it
one.
play out tonight? I feel confident. I'm not doing the overboard. Oh, they're going to kill him. I look at every game individually. I do feel confident about tonight. I think the Sixers have done things in this series, as I've labeled many times. It's a coulda, shoulda series for me. Coulda won game 1, shoulda won game 2 in both games at Madison Square Garden. I do feel confident for tonight. How about you?
It's hard not to feel confident. We talked about, you called it the shoulda and the coulda, but you really do look at those games and think they were in them, barring anything going crazy. And take out the 2-minute report and whatever else. You're looking at games dominated by 2 players. If you get anything from the other players, those are easy wins. So I think that's another reason the confidence comes, not just because you thought you had game 2 won and because of the easiness at the end didn't go your way. I think you look at the law of averages is going to help you out. Buddy Hield can get you more, get you a couple points. Can get you more than 4 points. Tobias Harris. You think about that across the board, and you think, all right, if you get the same amount from Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, and then get a little bit more from the other guys, any other player on the team, those are wins. So I think that's where the confidence comes from. I did my quick math. I expect 25 from the bench, 28 between Tobias Harris and Kelly Oubre, and then the same, about 65 between Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. That gives me 118 points.
Wow. That didn't even throw in a Kyle Lowry or anything like that.
So that's I think that's a realistic expectation.
You're a sicko.
Oh, you know it.
That's right.
That's what I set up there in the big stands with everybody else. So I think that they win that game. The Knicks are not a high-scoring team, especially when you play the defense you've seen on them. That's just not the style they won. They love the half court. Sixers get out and run. I'm going to go with the 118 since that's what my math says.
Okay. So,
118, 110.
All right. 118, she got an 8-point win, 5-point line tonight. Amy says put all your money on the Sixers tonight.
Do not do that.
Whoa.
But it's so funny.
Much
I also
like looking at the eclipse.
So by my math, because you would think of like 105, maybe more like it's a Knicks realistic thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know that the Sixers are going to win by 15.
Is there going to be something noticeable out on that floor tonight, pretty much right away, that you say, okay, they're doing that different? Or is it a case like Bill brought up to me yesterday? He says, why would you change a whole lot? You could have won game 1. You should have won game 2. Why would you change? Do you think we notice anything different like right away tonight? And I'm not just saying, Tobias Harris takes a shot or something like that, but anything you think that
if you run some offensive sets set up guy like Buddy Hield or Tobias Harris, I think Buddy Hield specifically, if you see something like that, I think then you could think it's going to go the same. I imagine that they're not going to change too much from the game plan. The game plan has worked. I think they feel really confident in what they saw in game 2, rightfully so, defensively and offensively. A lot to be, to take away from that. The role play, the other guys not named Tyrese and Joel, you don't like exactly what they put forth in game 2, but you figure maybe you get something going for them. I think Buddy Hield specifically could be a player that if you'd like to get him involved early, that could be something. Does DeAnthony Melton come in?
Yeah.
To start the second quarter or something like that, to spell some guys defensively on Jalen Brunson? that would be something I would look for, and that would change my mind. Like, oh, okay, well now we got a little something extra.
So you don't think anything drastically changes schematically defensively?
I wouldn't change anything drastic
Okay.
schematically. Would you?
No, I only put it out there because the other day I said, that like, okay, you've done a great job on Brunson, but you are 0-2.
Right.
Josh Hurt. There you go. There's one for you already. Josh Hart has already hurt you a lot in this series with 2 games of 4 3-pointers, something he's never would change it because, like I said, why? When you're so close to winning 2 games, why would you? But I wonder if Nick Nurse, does decide to change things up a little bit. We'll see. I mean, that's what the great thing about sports is. You just don't know. Ray, we had some polls up today that if we want to close them out, tell us how those results ended up.
All right, so we started with how do you see Game 3 playing out for the 76ers? Very confident town, basically, today. 6% of people saying that they will lose by double digits. 17% saying that they will lose by single digits. So that's 23% of people saying they'll lose, meaning on the other end, you have 77% of the people saying they're going to win. 49% of that's going by single digits. And 28% more people think they will win by double digits than lose at all.
Wow.
Like it. I like it. There's reason for confidence. That's cool. I have it also. I'm not going to give a score. I think, it's going to be a tight game. All that. The line is 5 points. For people that are looking for some positivity, I have a friend who is very knowledgeable in the sports betting world, and the Sixers were 5-point underdogs on the road and now 5-point favorite. He said is an oddity he likes in playoffs he hasn't seen before.
Yeah, like 10
I said,
points.
what does it mean? He says the Sixers are a blowout tonight. So I'm just telling you, I'm not going to tell you to spend all your money. Go bet the Sixers.
Inappropriate.
But yes, we are. I am very inappropriate. But it's going to be a good watch tonight. At 22, Amy thinks they're going to move up the Philadelphia Eagles and take a cornerback.
That's what I want them to do.
Yeah. What do you think they will do?
I think I think they could move up. But I think they'll probably stay at 22 and pick a lineman.
Okay, that's what I think I'm leaning towards that too. I think they're going to stay where they are. I think you're going to see a big fatty rolling in here over the next couple
well,
days.
Hopefully it's Powers Jackson.
It could be. Yeah, that would be nice. An Oregon center that you say, oh, he can play both center and right guard. That's pretty cool. So we'll figure out where he best fits. So we'll see. Hope you have a great, great day. All that, a whole lot more going on today. Let's hope you can take it in. Let's hope everybody's safe. We will see you down at the arena tonight. Don't pregame show. And we'll be back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Midday show, Bob Cooney. See you tomorrow.